The quest for 71 continues today. The lumberyard ready to go. Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa set for the final showdown of this three-game series between the visiting St. Louis Cardinals, who have won the first two games of the series very handily, and the homestanding Chicago Cubs before a capacity crowd again at Wrigley Field. Hello again, everybody, along with Steve Stone, Chip Carey. Welcome back to Cubs baseball. And Steve, this is the most anticipated series of the year. Hasn't turned out very well for the Cubs. The Cardinals have won both games rather easily, and Mark McGwire one homer ahead of Sammy Sosa, but still behind him in the overall home run chase.
Everybody looked forward to the head-to-head matchup between these two sluggers, and so far not much has happened. Over the course of the season, Big Mac has out-homered Sammy. Sammy hitting the ball a little bit better. The Cardinals doing a little bit better than the Cubs right now. But today, with the wind blowing out, things are due to change. However, there are a couple of guys that have done a good job in this series.
And they've been the slugging third baseman in this series. Fernando Tatis, the Cardinals picked him up last year. He hit the 30 home run mark last night, and Shane Andrews, Stoney, really starting to solidify himself as the leading candidate to take over as the everyday third baseman for the year 2000.
Since putting on that Cub uniform, Shane Andrews has hit just about everything in sight, and he's hit for power. He's hit 5 home runs, as you can see, a much better player with the Cubs than he was with Montreal. And Fernando Tatis last night took one way back. 30 home runs this year, knocking at the door, 100 runs batted in. And as you can see, Fernando Tatis has been a great addition to this team since coming over from the Texas Rangers. That was one of the better trades that general manager Walt Jocketty made.
In fact, the last Cardinal third baseman to hit 30 or more home runs in a season was the legendary Ken Boyer for the Cardinals in old Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Today's pitching matchup, Garrett Stevenson goes for the Cardinals. He's won 6 games, and Steve Traxel, Stoney, really pitching well the last month and a half. Hopefully he can do it again today.
Steve Traxel's going to have to keep the ball down, and Garrett Stevenson, a much better pitcher for St. Louis than he was for Philadelphia. When you consider the fact that he's over 500 for a team that's 7 under 500, you'd have to say he did a nice job.
Wind is blowing out. Let the fireworks begin. But first, let's enjoy our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. Dodge. Do not follow. Do not conform. Be different. The new Discover Platinum. Now more than ever, it pays to discover Platinum. Pepsi, the joy of cola. The Illinois Lottery, where you have a chance of the big leagues every time you play. And by Southwest Airlines, offering low fares and frequent flights. Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Chicago Cubs.
Probably you remember some of my home runs of the last season.
Today, I would like to invite you to my real home, the Dominican Republic. Now it's your turn to swing the bat and hit the home run for the most memorable vacation of your life. Come to the Dominican Republic. All Americans are welcome.
The Dominican Republic. Come. share our treasures.
Hey, Jeff. Now, listen, I got it right here, buddy. It's icy cold and tasting great. Now, come on, Jeff. You tell me, is there anybody in this world who deserves this here Pepsi more than you?
Hi, Jeff.
See you later, Jeff.
Now, that's what I call motivation.
I don't know where she came from.
Don't worry, Jeff. There's always Daytona.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No. Come here. Let me thank you. Come back! Why won't you let me thank you?
I'm thanked!
The Discover card gives you a yearly cashback bonus award. And when it arrives, people seem to really appreciate it.
Lady, please!
Cash. There's always something more to discover.
Hey, did you hear they got that thing with the McNugget Mania back at McDonald's? Yeah, if you go to McDonald's right now, you can get 6 Chicken McNuggets for just 99 cents. Won't last long, so don't just sit there, go! I got it!
Did somebody say McDonald's?
Well, maybe that youngster will someday catch a Mark McGwire or Sammy Sosa homer. Who knows? He's got pretty good pitching for him. Might end up on the mound for the Cubs in the year 2015 or so.
Maybe one day he will throw a Mark McGwire or Sammy Sosa home run.
These guys have an awful lot of longevity, no doubt about it. And if they keep hitting home runs, their respective teams will be begging them to play for many, many years to come. A gorgeous day for baseball, and the Cardinals go for the sweep this afternoon with Edgar Renteria, who homered last night leading off at short. Willie McGee in what could be his final Wrigley Field appearance in his great career, batting second. Mark McGwire hitting third at first. Fernando Tatis, the cleanup man. Thomas Howard red hot. He's in right. Craig Paquette moves to second base for the game today. J.D. Drew in center. Marcus Jensen behind the plate. And right-hander Garrett Stevenson, the former Philly, will pitch in bat ninth.
The Pepsi defense for Jim Riggleman and the Cubs. Brown, Johnson, and Sosa left to right. Andrews, Nieves, Morandini, and Grace in the infield. Jeff Reed behind the plate. Steve Traxel on the hill. And there's a look at Steve going for his 7th win. And this is 32nd start. He's completed 3 games, has a high ERA. And he's given up 29 homers. That'll be put to the test today with the wind blowing almost straight out. Although at this point, it's not that much of a factor.
65 degrees at game time. Winds out of the northwest at 13 miles per hour. Traxel, 9-22 are the Cubs in the starts he has made. But Steve really pitching much better in the month of August and September. He is a free agent. The salary drive, a 3-3 record with a 3.29 ERA. So he has been a much more effective pitcher, quite obviously.
In the month of September alone, in 4 starts, he's given up a grand total of just 7 earned runs, and that's a radical departure from earlier in the season. And all of baseball watching the matchup of Sosa and McGwire. McGwire with 59, Sosa with 61. And again, the wind is going to aid both of these sluggers today. Not that they need a whole lot of help, but what it enables them to do is not hit the ball squarely and still get it out of the park. So Steve Traxel, who's 8-6 lifetime against the Cardinals with a 4.11 ERA, will be opposing them for the 20th time.
So Mother Nature's been pretty fair. The wind blowing in very sharply in game 1 of the series. Somewhat across the ballpark last night. Today blowing out. As C.B. Buckner will try to call the balls and strikes today if the ball gets to home plate. For there is the tote board. Sosa with 61. Big Mac with 59 for St. Louis. Edgar Renteria set to go. He homered last night. And Traxel's first pitch is over for a called strike.
It was that Renteria home run coming in the 9th inning that really put the cap around. The Cubs were close, but for the 2nd straight night, the Cubs dropped a 7-2 decision.
Cardinals going for their first sweep since late July when they turned the trick against the Rockies at Coors Field. St. Louis 7 games under 500 at 72 and 79. The crowd still filing in. This expected to be a 38,000 plus crowd again today.
Not only that, Chip, but with this crowd today, Anything over 22,000, the Cubs will set an all-time attendance record. And they still have 4 games to go, and there are seats available for the game tomorrow night and Friday afternoon against the Pirates. The final series of this 1999 season at home.
2 balls and a strike to Renteria. He swings and misses. It's 2-2. 11 homers, 60 runs batted in for the Cardinals shortstop. He's having a career year with those RBIs and a career year with 149 base hits now. Strike 3 called. He outguessed him. Did Traxel. 1 man down.
Last night, Andrew Lorraine struck out the first 4 men he faced. And this time, Renteria takes a fastball right down the middle. From the Southwest Airlines Plainview camera, we'll take a look at an excellent pitch. And Renteria looking for anything but that.
So he's retired, and here's one of the most popular Cardinals in the history of that franchise, Willie McGee. Hitting .263, 20 runs batted in. His 13th season in a Cardinal uniform. Former Yankee, former Athletic, a switch-hitting outfielder.
And former 2-time batting champion.
He's had just a spectacular career in St. Louis.
When you consider, Chip, that he won the batting title in the National League
after being traded,
while finishing up the year in the American League, that was a pretty good trick.
McGee still somewhat undecided about whether or not he'll try to come back and play next season with St. Louis. But Father Time not nearly as kind to McGee now as he was 10-15 years ago, when he was one of the fastest players in all of baseball.
And involved in one of the most lopsided trades in all of baseball. Willie McGee for Bob Sykes.
McGee goes down swinging. There's out number 2. And here comes Mark McGwire with the bases empty. Of course, Traxel's the man that surrendered that record-setting homer last year in St. Louis.
Good split finger. And a good pickup by Jeff Reed. So McGwire steps up. Mixed reviews as far as the greeting is concerned. .357 lifetime hitter against Traxel with a couple of home runs. 5 for 14 overall. And pictures abounding all around this beautiful ballpark.
McGwire in the series, 1 for 7. That hit a line drive homer into the seats in center in game 1 of the series, and that broke up the perfect game bid by Cubs starter John Lieber. One ball, no strikes. Threw it right by it.
And for the most part, both managers have been true to their words in this series, because all the pitchers have gone right at both sluggers.
54 weeks ago today, McGwire connected for number 62 in the 4th inning in St. Louis against Steve Traxel. It was also a 2-out homer, a line drive sinking over the left field fence at Busch Stadium.
Both sluggers have only walked 1 time each in this series. There's Tony La Russa looking on.
Breaking ball catches the outside corner, 2-2. McGwire all the way back in that batter's box, and the 2-2. Over but low. Full count, 3-2. McGwire has walked 121 times. He walked 162 times in that record-breaking season last year. The payoff pitch, and he issues the walk here with 2 outs. Traxel didn't give in to him, and McGwire's aboard, and now you have to deal with Tatis, who cracked number 30 last night in the St. Louis 8th inning. 30 homers, 97 runs driven in for the diminutive Cardinal third baseman.
You know that he is lusting after that 100 RBI total. He came over as a guy who could hit the ball the opposite way. The Cardinals didn't really know that he would grow into his power as quickly as he has, but they felt eventually he would be a power hitter.
Well, he has turned out to be a wonderful acquisition by St. Louis. Royce Clayton, Todd Stottlemyre to Texas for Tatis and left-hander Darren Oliver. Tatis will be a fixture at third base for a long time in St. Louis. The Cardinals have a decision to make about what to do with Oliver. He's very young, very good, but could be very expensive.
You would think he would be the youngest quality left-hand starter in that free agent pool next year.
1-0 to Tatis is a rocket shot to left center field. That'll drop for a hit. McGuire will gallop into second. 2 are on, 2 are out, and Thomas Howard, who's been swinging the hottest bat of all the Cardinals, will bat here in the top of the first. Traxel's given up 30 runs in the first inning this year, and he's in danger of adding to that total with 2 out first inning trouble today.
Despite the fact that Tatis is a very powerful third baseman, he's also become a good hitter. And he takes this one off the end of the bat. He stays right with it, drives it into left center. After McGuire broke up Lieber's perfect game, Langford singled, and then Howard hit one onto Sheffield. And that helped put that game away. So this man does have some power.
He is 10 for his last 14 for St. Louis. The pitch. The off speed is in for a strike. That Lieber game, just amazing. Those of you who didn't see it around the country, John Lieber had a perfect game through 6 2/3, and then 8 straight Cardinals hit safely, including 3 home runs. They scored 7 runs in the 7th and won 7-2.
And there were no bloopers involved. They were just about 8 rockets. 7 given up by John Lieber.
And I know you've seen guys flirt with no-hitters. You've seen guys flirt for a while with perfect games. I don't think any of us have ever seen a guy lose it that quickly and that dramatically. And it all started with a cannon shot home run, a line drive by McGuire under radar into center field with the wind howling in off of Lake Michigan.
And that was the factor. All 3 home runs on a tough night to hit home runs came home run, single, home run, single, home run, single. That'll usually get you out of there.
That's pretty consistent. The 2-on. Adam out in front, 2-2 the count. The rest of the baseball is a bit later on. Today, Arizona will be in Colorado this afternoon. And Minnesota in Oakland. Boy, the A's will be a happy bunch. Well, they get to fly all the way to Baltimore to play a doubleheader tomorrow, then on to Texas for a series Friday. 2-2. Strike 3 called. Outside corner, and Traxel strikes out the Cardinals. 1, 2, and 3 of them in the top half of the first. St. Louis strands 2. Here come the Cubs. Sammy Sosa hits third after this. Top of the first, and here's the Cubs Pepsi lineup in the bottom half with Johnson, Morandini, and Sosa the top 3. Grace, Andrews, and Jeff Reed the middle third. Roosevelt, Brown in left. Henry Rodriguez is sore back. Nieves at short. Steve Traxel pitches and bats ninth.
The defense for Tony La Russa and the Cardinals. McGee, Drew, and Howard left to right. Tatis, Renteria, Paquette, and McGuire with Jensen behind the plate and Garrett Stevenson on the hill.
Lance Johnson, first pitch swinging, bloops it toward left. Willie McGee charges in. The ball hung up nicely for him. And Lance, 1 pitch, 1 man out here in the bottom of the first inning. Stevenson, a big guy, 6'5", 209 pounds, 27 years old. Came over from the Phillies organization in the Rod Gant, Jeff Brantley, Ricky Bottalico deal. And he's pitched very, very well for them. This is his 10th start of the year. He's 6-1 and coming off a win against Jose Lima and the Astros, albeit a rocky win. He gave up 6 runs in 5 innings of work. But he did hand the Astros Cy Young candidate one of just a handful of losses that he has suffered this year. In fact, Lima's 20-8. There's a line drive that's going to drop for a hit. So Morandini with a 1-out single sets it up for Sammy Sosa. Sosa 1 for 4 against the Cardinal right-hander, 1 for 7 in this series.
Stevenson has been tagged for 9 home runs in just 67 innings of work. And he was originally property of the Baltimore Orioles before going to Philadelphia and having one pretty decent year. He was 8-6 with a fine .315 ERA in '97. Then fell on hard times in '98 before being traded over to St. Louis.
So he'll face Sosa, who has hit Cardinal pitching at a .345 clip this year. Sosa, 4 of his 61 homers against St. Louis. And that tails inside for ball 1. McGuire has struck out 5 times in the series. Sosa just twice in the series. 1-0. Took a little off to even the count. Cardinals trying to find someone, anyone, who can help solidify their starting rotation next year. 2 balls and a strike. They have been decimated out there with injury again. Bennis, Morris, Osborne.
They expect to get Bennis back. They're not too sure if Morris will be ready. And they figure with a buyout of Osborne's contract, but a very hefty salary if they decide to keep him.
Double play ball hit to short. 6-4 to 3 in time. And the first inning is over. No runs, 1 hit. Sosa hits into a double play. And after 1, Cubs Cardinals nothing. Sosa McGuire nothing. The friendly confines here at Wrigley, so perhaps McGuire and Sosa will tee off. So far, only McGuire has homered in that head-to-head matchup in this series. Fernando Tatis has gone deep. Shane Andrews as well at third base for the Cubs. And Craig Paquette, who's played just about everywhere for the Cardinals, will be the St. Louis hitter. They got Paquette from the Mets in the trade for Sean Dunston. Paquette has had a very good campaign for Tony La Russa's St. Louis ball club.
And if you missed it last night, it was a great ball game between the Mets and Atlanta, decided by Chipper Jones, who homered from both sides of the plate, as Atlanta defeated the Mets in a critical game for both teams. They won that game 2-1, and now they have a 2-game lead over New York.
Chipper Jones homered left-handed, homered right-handed in that game. And he may have made a very strong case for the MVP with that performance last night. Jones having an unbelievable year. And if he can finish the year hitting over 300, Steve, he'll do something never before done. That is, hit 300 with 40 homers, 40 doubles, 20 steals, 100 runs, and 100 RBIs. That's incredible work, considering that the big protector, Andres Galarraga, has not played for Atlanta this year.
And another factor, Brian Jordan, at least last night, was out of the starting lineup, so a lot of the offensive pressure fell to Chipper Jones. And he certainly did deliver, as well as that usually reliable Atlanta pitching staff. But there's still 5 more games to go between those 2 teams.
2 more in Atlanta, 3 in New York next week. Paquette down on strikes, and Traxel has 4 punch-outs in the game.
Steve Traxel with pretty good stuff here today. Throws another split finger. This one dives out of the zone. And just like last night when Andrew Lorraine, in his first 4 outs, retired 4 strikeouts. Of course, he retired them consecutively. Traxel has 4 strikeouts with his first 4 outs.
And J.D. Drew, the Cardinals center fielder, stands in. Drew 1 for 8 in the series. He has a homer here at Wrigley Field. And he takes a strike. Drew at .240, 13 homers, and 38 runs batted in. Very impressive credentials for J.D. Drew, who, after being drafted by the Phillies, held out. The Cardinals gobbled him up. But there's some who say, Steve, that Drew might have been better off spending the whole year down at AAA.
Well, I think that probably for him might have aided him somewhat, because there's no way in the world he's a .240 hitter.
You're right. He's going to be a little less than that after he grounds out here in the second inning. 2 up, 2 down for Traxel. Morandini takes care of J.D. Drew. And Marcus Jensen, the switch-hitting catcher, bats with the bases clear.
Jensen's had a pretty good series for a guy that wasn't slated to play much of this series, but Eli Marrero had some migraine problems. And Jensen, who has made the rounds after being very highly touted San Francisco Giant farmhand, now trying to find a home here in St. Louis.
Jensen 3 for 8 in the series with 2 doubles and 3 runs scored. So he takes a strike here in the second inning. Bases empty, no score. Traxel against Garrett Stevenson. Ball 1. One more note on that Braves-Mets series. Ray Ordonez has gone 88 straight games without an error. That ties Kevin Elster's mark. The Major League record is 95 by Cal Ripken Jr., so that is certainly in reach. That ball's not going to be in reach by Jensen. A rope down the right field line. It is fair. It is gone, and the Cardinals lead by 1. First homer for Jensen.
And Traxel has given up 30 of them. So Jensen, knowing he's got an opportunity perhaps to find a place to play, a switch-hitting catcher, is 4 for 9 in the series. His first home run, his first run driven in, gives the Cardinals the lead. And when you think about home runs from unlikely sources, Marcus Jensen would be one of them. As this one hugs the line, but stays fair. And it is the second career home run for Jensen. You see when his last one was, and it was some time ago, so he's saved up for that.
A line drive right down the right field line puts the Cardinals in front by a run. And now Stevenson will be the hitter. 1-0 St. Louis. Again, the Cubs have been out-homered by plenty here at Wrigley Field. 121-93. A broken bat roller hit towards second. And the pitcher retired for out number 3. But Jensen's second Major League homer and first of the year and series gives the Cardinals a 1-0 lead early.
When night falls, passions rise.
I'm having so much fun.
Late night is getting its groove back.
Let's show them how it's done.
Okay. Ow!
With the coolest swingers.
I don't want to get caught with my pants down.
Nobody wants that, Drew.
And magic fingers.
Well, you go, girl.
Find out who's being naughty and who's nice.
Oh, my.
Because we're getting down after dark.
Just go get some.
The place for late night laughs is on WGN, Chicago's WB.
No one is hotter than we are.
Probably you remember some of my home runs of the last season.
Today, I would like to invite you to my real home, the Dominican Republic. Now, it's your turn to swing the bat and hit the home run for the most memorable vacation of your life. Come to the Dominican Republic. All Americans are welcome.
The Dominican Republic. Come, share our treasures.
This portion of Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by the new Discover card. Now more than ever, it pays to discover Platinum.
The names you'll always remember. The moments you'll never forget. The Chicago Cubs All-Century Team. Saturday at 2 on WGN.
Cardinals lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. Mark Grace will lead things off. Grace one hit behind Rafael Palmeiro in the battle for hit dominance in the 90s. Palmeiro 1,742 hits, Grace 1,741. McGuire backs up, makes a good play, better toss. One man down here in the second.
McGuire has had a very good defensive series. He's done a nice job down there. Of course, quite obviously, you don't hear much about Mark's defense. It's like hearing a whole lot about Pamela Anderson's acting.
You know, that's a good point. Never really know what she looks like anyway. Here's Andrews. Andrews, 5 homers, 9 batted in 9 games with the Cubs, and he's hitting .290. Shane will be the first to tell you he did not play well at all with the Expos, but felt like Felipe Alou simply gave up on him, and that organization too.
Well, they knew that Michael Barrett was going to play third. He lost his job. They wanted him to hit a little bit to right and right center. He is a pull hitter mostly, and he figures that since putting on the Cub uniform, he's gotten some new life. He's got an excellent hitting coach here in Jeff Pentland, and he has one of the livelier bats around. And I'm thinking this is a third baseman for next year.
3 balls and a strike.
And you know, he's looking for something middle in. If he gets something middle in, he can hit it a long way here.
But he takes the walk instead. First issued by Stevenson today. 1 on, 1 out for Jeff Reed, the Cub catcher. Reed hitting .265, a pair of homers. He's driven in 25 on the campaign. Marcus Jensen's solo homer down the right field line. The lone run scored today. And the 30th allowed by Steve Traxel here in 1999. 1 ball, no strikes. That's right through there at the knees. Very quiet crowd today.
Subdued to this point, you might say. But it is a very large crowd and a historic crowd for the Cubs. It's at the all-time attendance mark with 4 more to go.
1-1. It's outside, 2 balls and a strike. With Roosevelt Brown waiting on deck. Cubs will surpass 2.65 million in attendance today for a team that's 31 games under.
They'll be knocking at the door this year of 2.8 overall.
Swing and a miss by Reed, 2-2. Well, you know, the finale of the season will be a big day. That's Millennium Bear Beanie Baby Day. That one's probably a hard sellout when the Pirates are here on Sunday. Team of the Century Day on Saturday. That'll be terrific. We'll have a special program at 2 o'clock here on WGN honoring those great Cubs.
And that'll be an hour-long program, Chip. And the guys in the truck and the guys in the crew did a nice job of putting that hour special together, because it is a very nice show showing you all the players on the All-Century team and what they look like during their playing days. Some great footage.
3-2, runner goes, base hit right field by Reed. Nice hit and run. They're at the corners with 1 out. Reed took a ball that looked like it was almost in the right-hand batter's box and hooked those wrists and smacked it into right field with 1 man out.
Looked like a high changeup from Stevenson, who throws a lot of off-speed pitches, and Jeff Reed, bidding for a job next year, just drives this into right. It is a high change. And from the Southwest Airlines Plainview camera, we'll see Reed reaching out and pulling it. Now, normally, when you get that changeup up, you're asking for trouble. Because even if you fool a hitter, he's going to be able to get his hands over the top of it and hit it hard, and that's what Jeff Reed did.
And especially with the wind blowing out in this place. And the Cubs hope to take advantage with Roosevelt Brown here. Home run cut, and he missed it. 0-1. Brown had terrific minor league credentials this season with the Cubs. Was called up from Double-A. Pinch hit a few times, had no success in that role with the team. Jeff Pentland worked with him, sent him back to Iowa, really refined his swing. This man put together a 26-game hit streak at Iowa, hit .358, scored 50 times, 22 homers, and 78 batted in. And the Cubs are hoping perhaps that this kid can show enough here in September to garner some consideration for an outfield job with this team, although he hasn't played a whole lot of center field in the minor leagues or up here.
I would think he's going to try to heat him upstairs.
He did, but missed. 2-2. Lance Johnson playing in the center field spot again for the Cubs today, with Henry Rodriguez nursing a sore back. 2-2. Off speed, ripped down the right field line. That's in for extra bases. Andrews scores. Reed to third. They'll put up the stop sign, and Brown heads to second. Game tied at 1. Third RBI for Roosevelt Brown.
Well, there's an example of a pitcher outsmarting himself, and I think they're going to make an appeal. I believe they'll make an appeal on a missed base. We'll have to see. I think they want to appeal first base for Roosevelt Brown.
Yeah, he stopped midway between first and second.
I think he thought that he missed it, and so we'll have to see if Mark Carlson took a look at it. Right now, at least for the moment, he's credited with a double. We'll have to see after the appeal play if that holds up.
So Stevenson will toe the rubber, step off, then throw to first, and then the decision will rest on the shoulders of the first base umpire. For the moment, they're at second and third. Now, are they going to appeal or not? McGuire's standing at first base. There's the step off. And they're going to point, throw to first. He's okay. He touched first. So it's a double for Brown and an RBI.
There's a case of a pitcher outsmarting himself. He threw 2 fastballs by Brown and then threw him an off-speed hook, and he drove it down the line.
So the Cubs rookie shortstop Jose Nieves a chance to tally his third hit of the series and put the Cubs in front here in the second inning. A walk, a single, and a double.
The infield in, looking for the suicide.
How about a high fly ball hit to right center field? Howard gallops in. There's the catch. Reed tags. The throw comes into second, and the Cubs have the lead. Sac fly RBI number 14 for Nieves.
Well, that's getting a pitch that you want. You get a pitch up in the zone that you can hit to the outfield through a drawn-in infield. And this is a good piece of hitting by Jose. He gets a high fastball, which is the last thing you want to throw in a situation where a sacrifice fly scores a run. So the Cubs take advantage of it. Good execution by Nieves.
Now Traxel a chance to help his own cause. 2-1. The Cubs have the lead, with the top of the Cardinal order due in inning number 3. Cubs trying to avoid the sweep and salvage 1 of 3 against the Redbirds. Will of course play these guys next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that will conclude the 1999 regular season.
It's kind of an unusual year, Chip, when you have 2 weekend series against the Cardinals. Of course, it does give Cub fans a chance to mingle with those Cardinal fans down there.
I'd love to see it. We open up the season in one place against these guys and close it in the other ballpark over the weekend.
I think anytime you get a chance to put these 2 teams together, that's an advantage, especially if you get 2 weekends.
Popped up by Trax and into the first row of the second deck. Fine sitting catch by one of the paying customers today. And a souvenir for the grandchild. How about that? 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 in, 2 out. And Steve goes down on strikes, and that retires the side. The 1-out walk, then a single, a double, a sac fly by Nieves. Cubs have 2, and a 1-run lead after 2, with Big Mac due up third in the third.
When Lewis's sister blows back into town.
Surprise! You guys were really hot and heavy that whole summer.
Yeah, she was hot and he was heavy.
Drew's in trouble.
You can't date my sister. How would you like it if I dated your mom?
Ugh. Next Groove.
Tonight at 6:30 on WGN. Allow us to present America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles powertrain coverage, 5 years, 60,000 miles bumper-to-bumper protection, and 5 years unlimited mileage roadside assistance. Presenting the Hyundai Advantage. Yours on every 1999 Hyundai. The Hyundai Elantra with America's best warranty starts at $11,234.
There's a lot more to working in AutoZone than looking up parts or ringing up sales. And it has to do with taking pride in taking care of customers. Like testing an old part before selling a new one. Or simply having what they need when they need it. In other words, it's about taking care of people who take care of cars. And that's what we do best at AutoZone.
Catch all the Cubs action right from your computer with the Chicago Cubs website at www.cubs.com. Daily game notes, up-to-the-minute stats, live play-by-play, online access to Cubs tickets, and much more. Visit the Cubs website today at www.cubs.com.
Fans, now you can show off your pride with merchandise from the official Cubs gift catalog, like official Cubs jackets, jerseys, shirts, and hats. To get your free copy of the Cubs gift catalog, visit the Cubs website at www.cubs.com or call 773-404-CUBS.
On today's Discover Platinum Payback Playback, we look back 28 years ago yesterday when the coach Ron Santo reached a home run milestone. He hit his 300th homer September 21st, 1971, off Tom Seaver of the New York Mets. And Ronnie finished with 342 homers in his illustrious career. And the coach will be honored as one of the Cubs All-Century team members this weekend. Third baseman Ron Santo's 300th career homer is today's Payback Playback. And there's the coach, Ron Santo. He was talking about that 300th home run against Tom Terrific, and he said the next time he was up, Mr. Seaver was kind enough to introduce Ron to his backside. As he flipped him, dusted him, sent him sprawling.
That's the way things used to be in those days.
Not anymore. Here's Renteria. He struck out looking his first time up. It's amazing. You look at McGuire's numbers, Sosa's numbers. Neither one of them's been hit hardly at all this year. You don't want to say that you want to see a guy get hurt, but certainly you'd like to see a guy get pushed off the plate every now and then. But it's a different era in the game. 2 balls, no strikes. And I think one reason why we're seeing so many more home runs, so much more offense, is because the unwillingness of a lot of pitchers today to pitch inside and to pitch in there with a purpose.
Well, most young pitchers coming up through an era where they're using the metal bats don't go inside a lot as a matter of course.
Line drive up the middle. Maybe that's why. That almost took Traxel with it into center field. Renteria has his third base hit of the series, and he's a threat to run.
Okay.
And before Willie McGee bats, Steve, let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
The fall colors of the Ivy here at the friendly confines.
One of the beautiful sights at the ballpark, and we had another beautiful sight last night, Chip. Arnie Harris in his luxury skybox. I never saw Arnie move quite as quickly as when he put down that plate of lasagna to grab his young grandson, get a little airtime. It was quite a shot.
Runner goes, ground ball, and it's a fair ball. Grace makes a leaping grab. McGee advances the base runner, and there's out number 1. Yeah, you'd think his grandson was a live Beanie Baby the way he was.
Well, he was beaming, though, and you can understand why. His first grandchild, a grandson. Hopefully, Arnie will be around to see his great-grandchildren. And a good play by Mark Grace. This one could have easily gotten over his head. He's right there. You see Mark Carlson motioning a fair ball. And with Renteria running, McGee makes contact, but the Cubs do get an out.
So the tying run at second for St. Louis. McGuire walked his first time up. McGuire sitting on 59 for St. Louis. Needs 1 homer for 240 of them in the last 4 years. That's an average of 60 a year. The pitch. Over but low, ball one. Needs one home run for 400 in the 90s. Last year went over the 400 home run mark. This year went over 500. That's astounding.
Can you imagine, Chip, in the years when he was injured, had he played those games, how many he would have had right now?
Well, he's got 516 lifetime. Traxel misses way outside, 2-0. I don't know how much longer McGuire wants to play or is going to play. He's had some groin problems, some back problems.
But again,
you look at the numbers. I mean, if he plays 4 more years and just hits 50, he's over 700 then all of a sudden.
But in 93 and 94, he played 27 games in 93 and 47 in 94. Just give him normal seasons, and you had a good chance of tacking on close to 100 more home runs onto what he has already.
2-0. Low 3-0. Well, if nothing else, he'd be pushing 600.
With a legitimate shot, because he actually says he feels pretty good. And as long as he feels good, he's going to continue to play.
How many more years does he have with his contract with the Cardinals?
I would say as many more as he wants at this point. And he will, of course, be given the 3-0 green. So, at best, be careful.
3 balls, no strikes. The pitch. Signed through next year, a team option for 2001, so he'll be there 2 more years, at least. The redhead playing for the Redbirds. 3 balls and a strike. Runner at second, 1 away. A ball. Full count, 3-2.
Now, both of those were pitches by Traxel. So gets it right there. That's a pretty good pitch.
Three and 2. Second time in the game. So 2 are on, 1 is out. Fernando Tatis will be the batter, and now Jeff Reed out to talk with Steve Traxel. In your opinion, does McGuire have a legitimate shot to surpass Henry Aaron's all-time homer record?
Oh, he has a chance. I just don't think he'll be around long enough or physically able to do it. And Henry Aaron was the man that says there is one guy who's got a chance, and that man is currently playing in Seattle, and that's Ken Griffey Jr.
He's 3 shy of 400 as he hit his 47th last night for Seattle.
He's young enough. He's been remarkably healthy enough to be able to do it if he wants to stay around long enough to make an attempt to do it. Now, if Mac can keep himself healthy enough, he's got the ability to do it.
Here's Tatis, and he takes outside, ball 1. What about Sammy Sosa's chances? Sosa now with 334 lifetime homers, and he's only 30.
There's another guy also with the durability to do it, but he has to almost double what he's done so far. However, he keeps hitting 60, 65 every year. He does that in 5 years. Hopefully in a Cub uniform, by the way.
That's true. 1-0. Ripped straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sosa signed through the year 2001 with a mutual option for the year 2002 for the Cubs. And I would imagine it's whatever Sammy wants, he's going to be able to get, contractually speaking. And it's been very well deserved when you consider the last 2 seasons for the Cubs.
That's a balk.
Renteria broke off second, and Traxel commits the balk.
Well, what happens is you've got to step off before your hands come up, and it was called immediately by Randy Marsh. Good piece of base running by Renteria. He had no plans at all of going, but he figured if he could break, he might get a reaction from Steve Traxel, and he did. You've got to step off the mound or move towards second. Watch Traxel. He looks back, and there's the move without stepping back. He moved before he stepped back off the mound, and that was a very costly balk because it took the Cubs out of a double play situation. Now the infield is back. They're going to concede the run on the ground ball.
Tatis with 97 runs batted in. Could give the Cardinals the lead with a hit. Instead, he hits a fly ball to right. Ball carries well out there. Sosa drifting back 2 steps shy of the track. He makes the catch. Renteria tags, as does McGuire. The Cardinals tie the game at 2 on a sac fly in the 98th Tatis RBI. And the balk does loom very large now.
Well, you would think a veteran would not fall prey to that particular move, but it's the 3rd time Traxel has balked. The other 2 times you could understand it because there were moves to first base that was interpreted as breaking the legs before you throw to first. That time, just one of those things that veterans know not to do, but sometimes you fall prey to.
The mind was willing, but the flesh was weak. As Thomas Howard stands in, he struck out, ending the Cardinal first. Game tied 2-2. We're in the 3rd. Steve Stone, Chip Carey from Wrigley Field. And a ball outside. When we see the Cardinals, it's always a pleasure to see their fine broadcaster, Mike Shannon, who is the man in black each and every day. He's working the game for the Cardinals radio network this afternoon, and he wants to pass along some greetings to his pals Les Garner and Lewis Taft watching in Greenville, North Carolina. There's Michael. Jim and Jeannie Jansen watching as well in Fort Myers Beach, Florida today.
Don't know how he didn't star in Will Smith's movie.
Every time I see him, can't help but say, went with the black today, huh, Mike? Makes it easy to pick out your wardrobe, doesn't it?
There's no doubt about that.
But he's a good man, nice guy. And we wish him the best the rest of this season and beyond. As Thomas Howard back in the box. 2 balls, no strikes. That's low, 3-0.
Now, I would think that with a right-hander on deck, that you would give Howard the 3-0 green light. The way this man has been hitting, if you lay one in, he's going to try to hit it out.
Game tied at 2. A single, a walk, a balk, and a sac fly. And Howard takes a strike. Well, there's probably a lot of bitterness in that Oakland clubhouse right now.
Because it's raining?
It's raining.
They only have to take that, you know, and you think that's that long a trip, but really from Oakland to Baltimore, not that long.
Well, you save an extra 3 minutes instead of flying out of San Francisco, right?
That's true. You're a little bit closer.
3-2. Yeah, the A's have a real tough road to hoe here now.
Well, obviously, the big disadvantage at the time was they had one of the aces of that staff, Tim Hudson, ready to go against Baltimore. Baltimore now is red hot. They've won 12 in a row. But they had both games rained out, and they had to save the game at the end of the day, at the end of the season, for a possible playoff.
3-2. High fly ball hit toward left. That's playable for Brown. He shields his eyes and makes the catch. The balk proves costly. It gives the Cardinals a chance to tally the game-tying run, which they do. And we go to the bottom half of the 3rd. Sammy Sosa due up 3rd.
If a Cub player hits a homer today, write down the distance and player's name and send it to WGN. You could win round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination.
Uh-oh, here comes the skipper. Looks like there's going to be some fireworks now.
What are you doing tonight? Helen and I don't have any plans. Great! Sparky and his wife are coming to my house for dinner. Would you like to join us? That'd be great! Great! If I can beat the traffic, I'll pick up some Bud Light! Bud Light! Looks like you're out of here! I'll see you and the wife tonight!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
You have a beautiful home here! Oh, thank you very much!
What a shot. How'd you do it?
With the Elf. There's nothing to it.
What a camera. It's so small.
But the Elf 370Z does it all. With advanced photo system film. It's full of surprises. Like a 3x zoom. And 3 picture sizes. Have you seen all the Elves?
What a shot. From Canon.
Aching muscles. Tired joints? Well, now there's a cure.
It's Lotto from the Illinois Lottery. Win Lotto and you can hire a construction crew and watch those nagging pains magically disappear. Home additions and built-in pools become a breeze. It's as easy as saying Lotto.
Lotto made me feel great.
Lotto, that's the ticket.
2-2 is our score after 2.5. And friends, Sunday is the last regularly scheduled game of the year at Wrigley Field. To help celebrate this historic event, the first 40,000 fans attending the Cubs-Pirates game at 1:20 get a Millennium Beanie Baby along with a special edition commemorative card, compliments of Ty. Cub leadoff man Lance Johnson's got a bat for the second time here in the third inning. He swung at the first pitch in the bottom half of the first and fly to left, and is thus 0 for 1. Each team with 2 runs, each team with 3 hits. McGuire has walked twice. Sammy Sosa hit into an inning-ending double play his first time up. Right back to the pitcher. 1 man down. Mickey Morandini, a solid base hit his first time up. Will stand in now. Pitching matchups, by the way, for that Pirates series have been set. Tomorrow's a night game. Micah Bowie against Chris Peters. Friday, Kyle Farnsworth, Jason Schmidt. Saturday, John Lieber, Francisco Cordova. Then Sunday, Andrew Lorraine against Chris Benson. Was been very, very impressive for the Pirates despite an 11-14 record.
And the Pirate team, despite the fact that they haven't hit a whole lot, 5th in the league in pitching. They've got a pretty impressive starting rotation.
Mickey Morandini is jammed, and that one served down the right field line into the seats. I think Gene Lamont has done just a wonderful job losing Jason Kendall, his superstar. He's kept that ball club around the 500 mark all season long, and the pitching certainly a big, big reason.
Well, it's no surprise that the top 3 pitching clubs in the National League are 1, 2, 3 in the standings. Atlanta.
Mickey jammed again, this time left side. Renteria out, can't get it. Morandini rounds first. He'll stop there. He's 2 out of 2.
That one hit into a perfect spot. No chance for McGee and no chance for Renteria. So Mickey does get jammed, but he's able to bloop it into a nice spot. And getting back to the first 3 pitching clubs, they're Atlanta, Houston, and Arizona, the 3 division leaders. Then Cincinnati has been in the wild card race the whole way. Pittsburgh, who is going to finish up the track, and then New York. So most of the teams, except for Pittsburgh, that are in the running for postseason play are right at the top in pitching.
So it's not going to be easy for the Cubs and Sosa the rest of the way either. Sammy wrapped into a double play his first time, and again takes an early strike in the count. One ball, 1 strike. After today's game, the Cardinals move on to Cincinnati for 4. 1-1. Inside, 2 balls and a strike. An off day for St. Louis tomorrow, then 4 games with the Reds.
And the Cardinals have really done a pretty good job of getting their record at least in the neighborhood of 500. They're 7 under at 72 and 79.
2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch. High, 3-1. Now the Cub fans in the crowd boo the opposing pitcher. Both managers said they will pitch to each other's slugger unless the other guy decides not to. The pitch is over but low. Ball 4. Sosa a walk. McGuire 2 walks. First and second for Grace with 1 out. There are about as many conspiracy theories regarding how you pitch and how you play against these guys as they have homers between them.
Well, they're also, both opponents said that they would pitch both to Palmeiro and Grace in pursuit of most hits in the decade.
Grace needs a base hit to tie Palmeiro. It won't happen on that at bat. He hacks at the first pitch, and Willie McGee takes care of business for out number 2. What's the big hurry? But he's hacking at the first offering up here from the young Cardinal right-hander. Sosa and McGuire continue their running dialogue. Here in the 3rd inning, here's Shane Andrews. He walked and scored the first Cub run. He came in on a Roosevelt Brown double in the Cubs' second. Well, it just seems like all the excitement in this series kind of evaporated in the first game when McGuire hit the home run. Everybody's just been kind of sitting around with a case of the blahs here in Chicago. Of course,
the Cubs have scored just a minimum amount of runs in a series.
Grand total of 6, including 2 today. That I'm sure has an awful lot to do with it. But the expected and hoped for fireworks to this point have not come to pass.
And you would love to see Shane get one middle in.
Outside, 2 balls and a strike. Do you think fans, Stoney, are starting to become weary of the home run ball in this head-to-head race between Sosa and McGuire?
I don't think they ever tire of home runs. If you judge by the reaction of when either of these 2 guys hits a home run.
2-2, had him out in front. I don't think I've ever heard it this quiet here before. It's almost like doing a game in Montreal.
Yes, with a few more fans in the seats.
Many more fans. The pitch skips up there. The count runs full 3-2 now. So off and running will be Sosa and Morandini here in the 3rd inning. Three balls, 2 strikes. There go the runners. The pitch swung, lined sharply into center field, right at Drew. And he makes a fine play, and that retires the side. Andrews hits the ball right on the button, but right to J.D. Drew. Cubs strand 2 more through 3, still tied 2-2.
How do you save a kidnapped witch when you don't know who or where he is?
Can you say long shot?
A special Wednesday charm tonight on the WB.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. But on October 31st, Southwest Airlines will take off and fly to an exciting new destination, Hartford Springfield. So get ready for October 31st when we finally...
You are now free to move about the country.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
I'm calling long distance with one of those 1010 numbers. Makes you crazy.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's not.
It'll make you nuts. But with the new AT&T one rate 7-cent plan, calls are just 7 cents a minute.
Yeah, but you can only call at certain times, right?
7 cents a minute all day, every day.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week? That's simple.
Yes, it is.
So I don't have to use those 1010 numbers ever again?
No, you don't.
All day, every day. Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
shrimp on the Barbie. Guess who's dropping in?
Oh, excuse me.
Paul Hogan, Crocodile Dundee 2.
Saturday night at 10:30 on WGN.
Game tied at 2, and for this Cubs-Cardinals series, the Cubs have added their presence on the internet. For an interesting view of the ballpark, you can check out Wrigley Field on the internet at www.cubs.com, www.chicagotribune.com/sports, or www.perceptualrobotics.com. And fans will be able to download images, pictures, even rotate the cameras themselves for panoramic views of the ballpark. For the rest of this series, each camera features a zoom lens, a rotating axis, allowing any internet user to manipulate the angle and take a snapshot. Similar technology used during the U.S. Open tennis tournament, during baseball's All-Star game, as well as at the 1999 WNBA Finals and the 1998 NBA Finals.
Can you get a shot of that beret? That's the question.
I don't know. My computer is having some modem problems today.
I can tell it's not working.
It's in sick bay for the moment. So we'll let it rest, and maybe in the middle innings we'll check out those websites and see what kind of images we can gather here at the ballpark as Craig Paquette pops it out of play and into the seats. 1-2 is the count to him. I guess the rain has stopped now in Oakland.
That's good news. It looked like they're going to start that.
Well, that would be real rough for the A's if they had a 2-3 hour rain delay. They'd fly all night, get to Boston, and maybe head straight to the ballpark for that doubleheader.
Get a little batting practice in before the start of the game.
Baltimore, not Boston. 1-2. It's 2-2. Paquette struck out his first time up against Steve Traxel. And the Cardinals having a good time down in that bullpen. And well, they should. They've outplayed us in the series so far. They've had some bullpen problems this year. However, that's not something that Tony La Russa will be smiling about, but they're hoping to get Ricky Bottalico back to 100% in time for the year 2000.
Also a lot of work for Walt Jocketty, the fine GM of the Cardinals. First of all, he has to get Tony La Russa signed and under contract. They anticipate that that's going to happen. Then they have to solidify their starting rotation.
Hot shot toward third. Andrews, good play. Reaches up, throws high to first, and Grace can't get the tag down in time.
And now we'll have to see if that's going to be a base hit or an error. It does go as a base hit. However, if Shane makes a good throw, he's going to get him. It was a long throw from third as this ball takes a funny hop. Andrews has some time, but he gets it up high, and Grace can't get down in time. Your first responsibility for any first baseman is get the ball, and then you worry about getting the bag.
I think that should have been an error. That's a play he should have made. Here's J.D. Drew. So Drew bounced out to second his first time up. Infield hit for the Cardinals. It's their fourth of the game. And Drew takes strike one.
Drew pretty strong, can hit the ball out in left center. He doesn't have to pull it to get it out of here. We saw that the other night as he hit one into left center, out of the ballpark, into the wind.
Over the outside corner, 0-2. Steve Traxel trying to win his 7th of the year. He has suffered 17 losses. There is not an overwhelming group of major league free agent pitchers at season's end. And Drew goes down swinging. There's out number one. It is not out of the realm of possibility that the Cubs will try to re-sign Traxel after this season. He's durable, takes the ball every 5th day, and has been on a roller coaster good year, bad year cycle. Maybe next year's the good year again for him.
Well, I think despite the record, Steve Traxel is holding all the cards because there are very few of what he has to offer, and that is a man that's going to pitch 200 innings for you and not miss any starts.
Jensen hits another fly ball. This one should be caught, and it is. So he homered to right his first time, flies to right this time in the 4th inning. Paquette retreats back to first, and now Stevenson bats for the Cardinals. He's the pitcher, batting 9th, of course. You always have to check your lineup when you play the Cardinals. For Tony La Russa last year, remember, had the pitcher batting 8th for a while.
Well, he experimented with that and then realized that the way they had done it for 100-some-odd years wasn't necessarily a bad idea. So he's gone back to the pitcher hitting 9th. There are some pitchers, however, that we've seen this year that could hit 8th very comfortably.
And some of them look like they should have been hitting 5th or 6th when they faced our staff this year. 2-2 in the 4th. Cardinals trying to sweep us away on our home turf. We'll try to return the favor if that happens when we head back down to St. Louis to close out the campaign. Tip of the cap last night to Kent Bottenfield. Picked up his 18th win. 18 wins in this single season equaled the totals for his entire major league career.
And by far the most starts, the most innings he's ever pitched. And he'll have an opportunity to win 20. If he wins his next one, he'll probably go the last day of the season.
He'll face Cincinnati, and I think, let's see what the Cardinals notes have. I think it was Cincinnati, Montreal for him. So we'll see if Bottenfield can do it. A terrific turnaround for him. 1 ball, 1 strike. He said he didn't really like the idea of him becoming a starting pitcher down in St. Louis. He was a guy that had so much success, really learned how to pitch, he felt, as a relief pitcher with the Cubs. But because of all the injury problems the Cardinals had, out of necessity, they threw him in the starting lineup, and he made the All-Star team.
Almost like a Paul Bird story. Same situation with him.
Two balls, 1 strike. Line drive into center field. That's going to be caught. Lance Johnson hauls it in, and Paquette's infield single is wasted by the Cardinals. Still 2-2 as we head to the Cubs half of inning number 4.
On the next Richard Simmons Dreammaker,
She's been through so much of abuse at the hands of my father.
Tanya wants a miracle for her mom. On our next show,
Tomorrow morning at 11 on WGN, Chicago's WB.
Congratulations on 5 years. The WGN Morning News, Chicago's choice in the morning for local news, weather, traffic, sports, and a little fun.
Yeah!
Weekdays 6 to 9 on WGN.
Oh, space. I'm astounded by its vastness.
Seems like it goes on forever.
Makes you feel sort of small.
Space is incomprehensible.
The Accord from Honda. Don't be surprised if its spacious interior leaves you awestruck.
It's boundless.
Expansive.
Could you pass me the napkins?
Hold on. They're way back here.
Thanks.
The Accord for the year 2000.
It was the best thing we ever did. We got rid of all our bills.
0, 0, 0.
Today, you could start a new beginning.
If you're a homeowner, call 1-800-CHAMPION for our Pay Down Your Debt program.
Find out how you can have 0 balances on all of your bills and save hundreds of dollars a month.
We're saving $300 a month.
I should have done it sooner. No better time, no better way.
No day like today.
Isn't today a great day for a new beginning? When your bank says no, Champion says yes.
I think those guys are following us.
Oh, those are the Wayans brothers.
The Wayans brothers are following us?
Yeah, this fall. The Parenthood's on 5 times a week, followed by the Wayans brothers.
They're following us now.
Walk a little faster.
It's the Parenthood, followed by the Wayans brothers, 5 days a week.
Weekdays at 4:30 and 5 on WGN.
2-2 score as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Our upcoming Cubs schedule, Stoney, brought to you by the new Pepsi AC.
And it's all the Buccos, with WGN having the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday affairs, the last 3 here at home. So the Pirates make up the new Pepsi AC chewable upcoming games.
Jeff Reed leads things off and takes a strike. He singled and scored. The second and final Cub run. And again, a special treat for you on Saturday. The Cubs All-Century Team, Saturday at 2 o'clock right here on WGN. Low, 2 balls and a strike. Jeff Reed's played himself, I would imagine, into the Cubs' plans for next season.
I would think, Chip, if you would use him 2-3 times a week, depending, that Jeff Reed would be very valuable to you. He certainly has proven that he can hit the baseball. I think he's thrown the ball as well as he probably ever has thrown it since putting on a Cub uniform. So you would think he would be given great consideration. And a lot has to do, Chip. I know we both looked over the potential list of free agents for next year, and it's no startling revelation that that list is very thin. Unlike previous years, there's just not a lot of guys out there that would jump right out there and saying, I have to have this guy.
High fly ball hit pretty hard to left, but McGee is there. He's got it, and there's out number 1. But in a year like this one, free agency wise, I think you have to be even more vigilant in doing your homework, because it seems more and more, Steve, there are 2 or 3 guys in each league that somehow, some way come out of nowhere and become huge major league surprises. Kent Bottenfield is a perfect case in point for the Cardinals.
Well, I also think another factor is taking a look at the teams with enormous talent in their minor league system and realizing you can only put 40 men on the roster. And then you look at guys that can be drafted in the Rule 5 draft, or guys in the 6-year minor league free agent draft. And I think that's how a lot of organizations help to restock. Because when you look at Cleveland or Atlanta or the New York Yankees, realizing there's going to be some talented guys left off the roster at various levels, you take a chance on some guys because you can only protect so many. And that's, in a non-expansion year, that's one of the things that every general manager will look at. And that's a difficult consideration for a team that's laden with talent, who to protect and who to let go.
Another broken bat. The roller is fouled past first, and Brown just sawed off at the axe handle. That's about as jammed as you can get.
This one right in on the hands, and Rosie left with the handle.
So he'll select the new War Club and stride back into the batter's box. He doubled home. Our first run, his first time up.
I remember former Cub Billy Hatcher having that happen to him in the Astrodome, only to find that the bat was not necessarily a legal bat.
Was that the Super Bowl bat or cork?
It was cork. Now, it did not have his name on it. It had a pitcher's name on it. And so quite obviously Billy didn't know that it was an illegal bat, just happened to grab one out, and lo and behold, an illegal bat ensued.
That's what you call bat luck. The pitch is chopped toward McGuire at first. Covers. There are 2 men down. That's what Albert Bell had too. Remember? All of his bats were corked, it appeared, with the Cleveland Indians. They had bat gates. Somebody crawled in, pulled the confiscated bat out of the umpire's room, climbing through the catacombs of the stadium and stuff. Now they say the Indians are using an illegal camera in center field that they say is used for instructional purposes.
The opposition, you can never have too much instruction,
well, that's true. The opposition, though, says that this was the Boston Red Sox that believe they figured this out. The camera zoomed in very tightly on home plate. And when the catcher calls for a fastball, someone in the dugout whistles.
Could be just a gap in their teeth.
Could be, but unlikely. Mike Hargrove, of course, says that they're not cheating up there. And in a way, that does detract from the great seasons that some of their players are having over there. But if that were the case, and if that is something that they had used, it does explain how they just hammer people so badly at Jacobs Field in Cleveland.
Well,
I mean, we're in the conspiracy theory mode here this final weekend.
Let's take a look at another factor. Unless they travel with that camera, Cleveland is also 45-29 on the road. They just have a very good offensive team. I don't think they're able to rig that camera up on the road. So the difference between the home record and the road record, they're 46-31 at home, 45-29 on the road. Not much difference. I'm not sure if that particular theory holds a great deal of water. However, were I a team competing with Cleveland, like Jimmy Williams and the Red Sox, I would try to aggravate the Indians every chance I got.
Which certainly I think has happened.
They hit on the road, they hit at home. They can just flat out hit.
Ooh, that just missed. I think Stevenson thought he had a strikeout. I did too. Full count, 3-2. Nieves a sacrifice fly and his 14th run batted in. And there's a rope hit to left, sinking liner, snagged by Willie McGee. He stumbled but hung on. 3 up, 3 down. Stevenson's retired 5 straight, and we're through 4. Mark McGwire due up 3rd again for the Cardinals in a 2-2 game.
An 8-speaker stereo, just one of over 40 features, now standard on the Volkswagen Golf.
Thank you very much, Mr. Roboto, for helping me escape just when I needed to. Thank you.
Hey, did you hear they got that thing with the McNugget Mania back at McDonald's? Yeah, if you go to McDonald's right now, you can get 6 Chicken McNuggets for just 99 cents. Won't last long, so don't just sit there. Go!
I
got it! Did somebody say McDonald's?
Excuse me, what are you doing?
I'm calling long distance with one of those 1010 numbers. Makes you crazy.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's not.
It'll make you nuts. But with the new AT&T one-rate 7-cent plan, calls are just 7 cents a minute.
Yeah, but you can only call at certain times, right?
7 cents a minute all day, every day.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week? That's simple.
Yes, it is.
So I don't have to use those 1010 numbers ever again?
No, you don't.
All day, every day. Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
This portion of Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Dodge. Do not follow, do not conform, be different.
For the sins of their fathers, children pay the price.
Get out of here!
Dawson's Creek.
Tonight at 7 on WGN.
We go to the 5th inning, game tied at 2. And the top of the Cardinal order will come a-calling. Renteria, McGee, and then, of course, Big Mac, Mark McGwire, who has walked twice today. Renteria, 1 out of 2, singled and scored the tying run back in the St. Louis 3rd.
He became expendable because of the fine young shortstop that the Florida Marlins have.
A line drive hit sharply to left. Brown, good jump. 1 pitch, 1 out in the St. Louis 5th. 3 straight flyouts now given up by Traxel. That one hit right on the nose, but out is Renteria. Willie McGee now.
Well, he came on for a pinch hitter last night in the 7th inning. Almost hit his first home run of the year. Gave it a pretty good ride, but so far he's been mystified by Traxel.
tipped. It's strike one.
Once you get done with your drink, there's another use for the cup. Not necessarily a good-looking use, but a use nonetheless.
0-2.
After two pretty chilly nights, this turned out to be a beautiful day here in Chicago.
Mid-60s.
It feels a whole lot better, certainly when you're in the sun. And a beautiful day to be in the bleachers.
The 0-2 to McGee. Just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hardly a cloud in the sky.
And one more night game left on the home schedule. Tomorrow night.
Against the battling Buccos.
There are seats available, by the way, for tomorrow night and Friday. Our last opportunity to see the 1999 Chicago Cubs at home.
A roller hit to the right side, and Grace and Morandini get their signals crossed, and look at McGee. Never stopped running while the Cubs were watching the ball roll into right field. He takes second on the play.
Well, I think that Mickey thought Mark was going to make the play, and I'm not sure if he was shielded or not. But this will be an interesting call for Bob Rosenberg. We'll watch it again as Mark comes over. Steve Traxel does cover first. Gracie there, and Mickey just misses it. And it goes as an error on Morandini, and it turns into a 2-base error. And credit Willie McGee for some hustle, as he knew on that heavy grass in the outfield the ball would just come to a stop. It did. And it leaves first base open for Big Mac.
Well, Traxel's walked him twice already today. McGuire will try to drive home the go-ahead run for the Cardinals. And Steve hasn't given him a whole lot to hit.
And the fans continue booing with every errant pitch.
Well, he's trying to win the game.
Absolutely. And he doesn't care about McGuire's home run total.
1-0. Down and in, 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, there's going to be a wonderful ceremony on Saturday for the All-Century team. And for you folks with the 3 o'clock start on Saturday, ceremonies start at 2:15. So get to the ballpark early, and you'll see some of the legendary Cubs who contributed so much to this city and this ball club during the century.
Over the outside corner, 2-1. What a great century of baseball performances we have seen here in Chicago. From Banks to Sosa to Jenkins to Santo, the Tinker to Evers to Chance Infield, the Gabby Hartnett home run, the homer in the Gloman. 2 balls and a strike. Steve Stone's legendary performances out on that mound. Ryan Sandberg, Andre Dawson.
Maybe they'll have some film from when I gave up 5 home runs in 2 1/3 innings here.
I hope they do.
It was one of the highlights.
Three balls, 1 strike. Oh, he took one right down the middle. 3-2. McGee at second after the 2-base error by Mickey Morandini. Foul tipped into Reed's glove, and Big Mac strikes out.
The pitch sequence, Steve Traxel missing early. Falls behind 2-0, hits the outside corner with a strike, then misses. Now throws one right down the middle that Mack takes and strikes him out on a fastball in the outside corner.
I don't think Big Mac liked those first 2 strike calls, but his opinion doesn't count. And he is out number 2. Runner at second, 2 away for Tatis, who has singled and has driven home the second Cardinal run. 2-2 game in the 5th inning. And ball 1 misses outside.
Here's another guy that's padded up with the left elbow. He's close to the plate, and if you come in, you better come way in.
Over the outside edge. He's really painted that corner beautifully today. One ball, 1 strike. Chopper hit towards short. Davis gathers himself, throws the strike to first, and the 2-base error does not hurt the Cubs in the top of inning number 5. To the bottom half we go. Traxel, Johnson, Morandini will try to untie this 2-2 game.
Spend an extra hour with the Camdens.
Don't know how glad I am to see you.
Seventh Heaven Beginnings.
Returning Sundays at 6 on WGN.
Second quarter figures show a strong uptick in gross revenues with a corresponding increase in pre-tax profits. The market, of course, looked upon this very favorably, and the resulting surge in our stock price brings our market capitalization to within 10% of year-end projections. To elaborate on what this means for the company, I'd like to turn the floor over to our chairman.
Sorry. Not enough. No, still short.
For the great taste that will fill you up and never let you down.
Paper or plastic? Paper.
Make it a Bud Light.
Guys, need a receipt?
Oh, space. I'm astounded by its vastness.
Seems like it goes on forever.
Makes you feel sort of small.
Space is incomprehensible.
The Accord from Honda. Don't be surprised if its spacious interior leaves you awestruck.
It's boundless.
Expansive.
Could you pass me the napkins?
Hold on. They're way back here.
Thanks.
The Accord for the year 2000.
A new series from the writer of Mrs. Doubtfire. Amanda Peet and Ivan Sergei are Jack and Jill.
Premiering Sunday at 8 on WGN.
Gorgeous day for baseball to the friendly confines. Steve Stone, Chip Carey, welcome back to Wrigley Field. Good pitchers duel. 2-2 is our score with the Cubs and Steve Traxel coming up here in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, certainly the subplot is McGuire and Sosa, but the Cubs don't want to get swept by the Cardinals here. And once again, a huge crowd on hand. Hopefully the Cubs can come out on top, but right now, Stevenson and Traxel not overpowering, but throwing the ball pretty well.
And they've been able to pitch around each team's slugger. McGuire has walked a couple of times. Sammy Sosa hasn't done much in this game or in this series.
And the wind is blowing out today, unlike the first 2 games of the series. So hopefully we'll see a few more fireworks before this one is over. We haven't seen many so far.
The home run tote board, Sammy Sosa with 61, Mark McGuire with 59, and if someone gets on here in the Cubs' 5th, Sammy could come a-calling in this frame. Two balls, 2 strikes to Steve Traxel, who struck out his first time up. Stevenson trying to go to 7-1.
That one popped a mile high behind the dish. Jensen staggers and drops it. That's got to be an error on the catcher.
Yep, that one will be an error on Marcus Jensen. He gives Steve Traxel another life. So let's see if the Cubs can take advantage of it. This went up there a long time. Normally a fairly routine play. Jensen waiting, drifting, and a trampoline effect in that glove.
So Traxel gets a swing on the Cardinals here in the 5th. That's the first St. Louis error. Each team guilty of a mistake defensively today. And Steve hits a sinking line drive that Renteria can't handle. So Steve takes advantage of the Cardinals' defensive largesse. And we'll see how that shot is scored.
Well, it is an error, and I think right here, if Renteria plays this ball in front of his body, he's going to make the play because it's going to bounce up, hit him in the chest, and land at his feet. By playing it off to the side, he's charged with his 24th error, so 2 errors on the same at bat.
And Traxel's aboard, leading off the frame. He's going, and Lance pops it out of play for a strike. How about that? Cubs put the pitcher in motion here. Nothing in 2. So I think they've just changed the scoring on the Traxel play to a base hit. It's only 1 error for the Cardinals officially now in this inning. And Lance takes down an in 1 and 2. Pop left side. And again into the seats. Just a few more days of rooftop baseball. And bleacher baseball too. High fly again, hit to left pretty sharply, but McGee's got it in his sights. Traxel back to first. Johnson flies out for the 2nd time today. And Mickey Morandini will be the batter. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. Not too many days left to get your sailboat out, Stoney. I know it's sitting in dry dock somewhere here in town.
It's supposed to be a beautiful weekend, so I'm sure that we will see a few boats on Lake Michigan this weekend.
Nothing in 1 to Mickey. Took a little off. It's 1 and 2. Sosa waiting on deck. He'll bat next unless we ground into a double play. They miss Traxel on the sweep tag try. He's at 2nd now. And Sosa will bat with 2 outs. So now we'll see if the Cardinals pitch to Sosa. McGuire has walked twice. Sosa's walked once. And the go-ahead run at 2nd with 2 down.
Steve Traxel hustling by, and Paquette decides to take a swipe at him, but he can't get to him. We have a choice on that play. I'm not sure why you don't go to second to get the force out.
Surprised he did.
That's the go-ahead run out there.
So we'll see if the Cubs take advantage now. And an off-speed delivery misses. Ball one. They're waiting out on Waveland. For a Sosagram. The pitch. It's 2-0. How about a little 3 o'clock lightning? We're approaching the 3 o'clock hour Chicago time. And the fans hoping to use anything in their possession as a glove. The 2-0. He keeps that ball away and paints the outside corner. Good pitch. 2-1.
The wind is wafting out toward right center. It looks like if Sammy's going to hit a home run, he's going to have to go toward right or right center to do it.
The 2-1. High and away, 3 balls and a strike. Again, this goes back to what we talked about earlier in the series. Jim Riggleman and Tony La Russa and their players are respecting the integrity of the game. To them, that takes precedence over this home run chase. They're not going to just throw cupcakes up there for these guys to hit. 3-2. Sammy thought that one might have been high. And that's the way I think both sluggers would want it.
Well, this particular at-bat to this point has exactly mirrored Traxel's last at-bat with Big Mac. Let's hope the result of the at-bat is different.
McGuire struck out. Sosa facing a full count. 3-2. It's a ball outside, so each slugger has walked twice. Sosa's made one more out, however, than Mark McGuire. He's hit into a double play, and they're at first and second. And a look at the pitch sequence. They're being very careful, as you'd expect in a tie game.
Both pitchers fall behind 2-0, and then paint the outside corner, and then miss again before throwing a fastball right there. And the difference is this curveball misses, where the Traxel fastball struck out McGuire.
So Sosa still at 61. McGuire still at 59. And Grace looking for his first base hit of the day. He's 1 out of 10 in the series. And Stevenson starting to miss high with everything. 2-0 the count. Ripped and foul past Dan Radisson, and hey, scatters that Cardinal bullpen. And while everyone else collects themselves, we'll pause quickly for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
Folding to right field, that'll drop for a hit. Traxel rounds third, he's going to score. Howard falls down. Sosa's going to score. Heading toward third is Grace. He'll make it without a throw, and the Cubs lead by a pair.
Well, the Cardinals opened the door with an error and then a play that should have been made and that wasn't. And Mark Grace drives home runs 83 and 84 in his pursuit of 100. And the Cubs have the lead. Mark hits this ball awfully hard. And then Thomas Howard has looked better than he does on this particular play. The ball gets by him all the way to the ivy, and Gracie chugs into third.
So the Cubs lead it 4-2 here in the 5th inning, and Shane Andrews the batter. The Cardinal bullpen now starts to get busy in a hurry. Again, Stevenson leaving a lot of pitches up in the zone. Sosa scores his 109th run of the year. Grace has scored 100 runs. Those two men have scored 209 of the Cubs' 699 runs. And he and Palmeiro now tied for the hits leadership this decade. 1-1. Right through there, 1 and 2 to Shane. He couldn't pull the trigger. Is that Manny Ibar down there for the Cardinals? That's who it is. 1-2. Now 2 and 2. And Shane goes down swinging, but not before the Cubs pick up a couple of runs. On 2 hits, 1 error, 1 man left. We're through 5. Steve Traxel leads the Cardinals 4-2.
So it's like 6:30. He comes in and we're in the finals. I figured we'd be there all night, but...
Finally, you can use your cell phone the way you really need to.
What do you mean? What does that mean? These shoes
Free
are
nights,
killing me.
free weekends,
Definitely borrow these.
200 minutes, a free digital phone. And best of all,
We are.
Ameritech's reliable wireless network.
Hey, thanks for walking me home.
Call 1-800-MOBILE-1. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Thank you. No, please. Let me. There you go. You're certainly on your way, son.
We have activity.
Verify account status.
His last payment was a half day late.
Raise his rate.
Initiating interest rate increase, sir.
If you're late with a payment, some credit cards are happy to automatically raise your interest rates. But at Discover Card? No, we don't do that. Remember, there's always something more to discover.
It's your last chance to pick up on savings during the final days of the Ford authorized clearance. Year-end deals on the last of the 99s. Get 0.9% financing and $500 cash back on every 99 Ranger. Or choose only cash and get $1,000 back. Get low APR financing and save thousands on Ford F-Series, the world's toughest, best-selling truck. The celebration's winding down, so act now. Get 0.9% financing and big cash back during the final days of the Ford authorized clearance at your local Ford store.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
It's 4-2. Cubs finally have the lead over the Cardinals as we head to the 6th inning, and we're all hoping to see this young man in Cubs colors in the not-too-distant future. Our Illinois Lottery Hit It Big report featuring slugging first sacker Hee-Sop Choi.
Well, he's a very big man, as you see, and a very young man, and he put together a great year at Lansing. Taking a look at everything, including slugging percentage, you would have to say that Hee-Sop Choi did indeed hit it big for the Illinois Lottery.
So Steve Traxel has scored the go-ahead run for the Cubs. Sammy Sosa's added the 4th tally of the day. And Thomas Howard, who took that dive in right, will lead things off for St. Louis. He's 0 for 2 today. Came into this ball game 10 for his last 14 for the Cardinals. And he rolls it foul and out of play. Well, as we conclude this 1999 season, we say farewell to several major league ballparks. We say goodbye to the Kingdome in Seattle, the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, and Tiger Stadium will bow out. Her final game will be this coming Monday at the corner of Michigan and Trumbull. They'll move into their new ballpark in downtown Detroit next season.
And it would have been County Stadium. But for that tragic crane accident, they will play another year there. So the Bratwurst will abound for one more year.
1 ball, 1 strike. After tied 2-1. Steve really popping that fastball. So all those fans who took their mementos from County Stadium a little early might want to give them back. Sammy turns the wrong way. That ball's over his head and into the seats. Fans are going to get that baseball back. That's a tradition here. Obviously defective baseball as Howard rips a home run. His 6th of the year. His 2nd hit of the series. His 2nd homer of the series. And all of a sudden it's a one-run game again.
2nd home run given up by Steve Traxel. 31st for the year. As that one just barely makes it. As for the first time, Traxel gets one up and out over the plate, and Howard takes advantage of it. Sammy runs out of room, and the fan makes a nice catch. And she is ecstatic.
She would look like she was taunting Sammy there for a second. That's dangerous, dangerous activity out there as Paquette swings and misses 0-1. So Thomas Howard atones for his dive in right field. He's drawn the Cardinals to within a run. It's 4-3. And 0-2. Now see, there's the catch. She keeps the real baseball and the old switcheroo.
And she's saying, where's that bad there's that bad baseball.
I think that's one of those batting practice balls that end up in the bleachers. And the old decoy.
Cannot hide from the WGN cameras. I fooled him.
I'm a better catcher than you. That's what she's saying. 2-2 is the count. Over below. Traxel has a full count now, 3-2. Ground ball sharply hit to third. One down as Andrews takes care of Paquette. And center fielder J.D. Drew will hit. He's only 1 for 10 in the series, but the one hit, a big homer in the series opener.
Bullpen up and going for the Cardinals. It might be Rick Ankiel.
We have not seen him yet, and I think that's exactly who it is. Ankiel will pitch out of the bullpen the rest of this abbreviated major league season for him, as his innings have really piled up, but they think he's going to be the real deal for them from the left side in that starting rotation.
I think they've already penciled him in the rotation next year. He dominated every level of minor league ball. And looking at his stuff, he's going to be a pretty good one. So now Heredia and Ayala throwing in the pen for the Cubs.
And Keel, a second-round pick by the Cardinals in 1997. Line drive right field for a base hit. Second Cardinal hit of the inning. And Drew with good speed is aboard with Jensen, and then a likely pinch hitter for Tony La Russa.
Keep your eye on J.D. Drew. He swiped 18 bases, been caught only twice. He hasn't seen the move of Steve Traxel. It is a good one, so if he takes some liberties down there, you just might be able to pick him off as Tony La Russa looks on. And they will, no doubt, go to the bench for a pinch hitter, assuming that Jensen does not ground into a double play.
Jensen has homered and flied sharply to right. And a close play over at first.
Normally in these situations, Steve is good for a good 3 or 4 tosses to first.
Well, you always want to be sure. Keep Drew close. Jensen, a catcher, you wouldn't expect him to run all that well for the Cardinal team. But if you pay too much attention to J.D. Drew, you might end up losing Jensen as well. And Eddie Perez will be the pinch hitter for St. Louis.
Jensen hit a home run in the second and hit the ball very hard in the fourth, so he's had a couple of good swings at Traxel.
The 1-0. Missed outside, 2-0. Lefty-righty action down in the Cubs bullpen as Jim Riggleman ponders the St. Louis lineup card and tries to figure out a way to get Traxel through this sixth with the lead still intact. Heredia and Ayala, the lefty and righty respectively. Nowhere near. 3 balls, no strikes. Traxel's given up just 6 Cardinal hits. He's got a lead of 4-3. Taking all the way. 3 balls and a strike. He's approaching 100 pitches unofficially on the afternoon.
And now you'd like to keep Drew close because you figure he just might be going. You certainly want to stay out of the double play.
Three balls, 1 strike. Full count, 3-2 now. So we'll see if Tony La Russa sends Drew here. Chance of a strike him out, throw him out, inning-ending double play.
Jensen has spanned 9 of his 20 at bats. It's a pretty high ratio.
He's running, and it's a ball outside. First and second, 1 out. Traxel issues the walk. That's 3 of those on the day. And now we've got real problems. For Perez will stand in. He'll bat for Stevenson. Perez, you'll recall, drew a walk in last night's game as a pinch hitter and had a pinch hit RBI single in the 7th inning against Rodney Myers.
Eduardo Perez hitting .467, 2 for 5 as a pinch hitter. And here comes Marty Demerit to tell him how they want to work Perez, who doesn't have particularly good speed.
So close the book on Stevenson this afternoon. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, just 2 of the runs earned. He walked 3 men, struck out 2. Marty Demerit out to try to settle down Steve Traxel here, who has pitched pretty well today despite giving up 2 home runs. He's got a 4-3 lead. First and second, 1 in, 1 out. And here is Eduardo Perez. Very leisurely pace to this ball game this afternoon.
Well, you get the ground ball here, and you're probably going to be out of the inning.
0-1. This young man comes from very good baseball bloodlines. Of course, his dad, Hall of Fame hopeful Tony Perez. No balls, 1 strike. Almost to the backstop, evens the count. Visibility still not much of a factor yet, although the shadows are creeping toward home plate rather quickly now. as we move to 3 o'clock Chicago time. Two on, one out. Cardinals trying to tie the game or take the lead here. Low 2-1. Jensen and Thomas Howard have homered for St. Louis. Well, who says you can't beat fun at the old ballpark?
You can if your car works. Sometimes it just doesn't.
I wish Steve would jumpstart the pace of this game, for crying out loud. This is getting ridiculous. Even his teammates, look at the body language out there. A lot of guys looking at the ground, pawing at the dirt. The 2-1. 2-2. Perez not too sure about that call.
A little bit of a delayed call by C.B. Buckner. With Southwest Airlines Plainview camera, we'll take a look at this one. Good enough, and there is the Southwest Airlines Plainview camera high atop Wrigley Field.
2-2. Swing and a foul tip into Reed's glove. Big strikeout. And there's out number 2. 7 strikeouts for Traxel, who still has enough giddy up to take care of the big pinch hitter.
He throws a high fastball right by him, and now you have to deal with Renteria, who hit the ball awfully hard the last 2 times up.
He does have a base hit and has scored one of the 3 St. Louis runs on the afternoon. Ball 1, low and away to the Cardinals shortstop. Two and 0 the count. Oakland's got a 1-0 lead over Minnesota. That game's through 3. They had a rain delay to start. Remember, Oakland after the ball game will have to fly cross country and head to Baltimore and play a doubleheader tomorrow, then fly to Texas for a 3-game weekend series. Ground ball toward the whole left side. Nieves knocks it down. Throw to second is in time. Great play. And the catcher's speed foils the Cardinal rally in the 6th, as Nieves showed a lot of range and a good, strong, accurate arm that time. And the Cardinals settle for 1 in inning number 6. A bang-bang force out at second retires the side. Jeff Reed leads off for the Cubs in a 4-3 Chicago game.
A cannon, the largest ever conceived.
The resistance will be crushed. Earth, final conflict.
Saturday at noon on WGN.
With at least 42 different sport utility vehicles to choose from, how do you decide which one is best for you? Here's an idea. Check out the Bravada, a luxurious SUV equipped with Smart Track. It automatically adjusts to changing road conditions. No buttons to push, no levers to pull. So when the Chicago weather throws you an obstacle, Smart Track can help you tackle it with confidence. Now you can get 0% financing or $2,500 cash back when you purchase a new 99 Bravada at your Chicago area Oldsmobile dealer.
Years ago, I got mono, just when my French class was off to France. Left me behind. That hit me big. Everybody brought me back something. Everybody but Tom. He brought back Michelle. Well, I just won the big game. I hit it big. Mega Millions. And that class is going back to France on me.
Something big you'd like to do? Play the Mega $1 Million big game from the Illinois Lottery. You could hit it big.
Oh, Tom, your invitation, as they say, is in the mail. Au revoir.
It has more power than Honda Civic DX, more trunk space than Dodge Neon, more passenger room than Ford ZX2, and it's the lowest priced car with standard anti-lock brakes.
I think you missed a spot.
How's that for stopping power? Chevy Cavalier. The more you know, the better it looks.
You can drive away in a new Cavalier with your choice of low APR financing or big cash back. See your Chevrolet dealer today.
The Drew Carey Show. Weeknights at 6:30 and 10:30 on WGN, Chicago's WB.
Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-3 in favor of the Cubs, and here comes Rick Ankiel. They think he's going to be a superstar in St. Louis. Well, keeping those youngsters healthy on that mound has been a real problem for him.
31 strikeouts in 29 major league innings. He's 0-1, 3.72 ERA, his second time out of the pen. I would think working out of the bullpen when you used to be a starting pitcher, control would be a factor. But this guy's got just terrific stuff. And he's got a curveball that really bites.
Pretty good fastball, too, and that's a nasty spot. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ankiel, a second-round pick by the Cardinals just a couple of seasons ago. Off the end of the bat and out of play. 6'1", 210 pounds, just turned 20.
He's just got tremendous stuff. Got the high socks. And if he throws a hook to Reed, I think he's got him.
Or a fastball right down the middle. 1 man down in the Cubs 6th.
Not much doubt about this. It's good old-fashioned fastball. So now we're going to see a pinch hitter. It looks like Bo Porter to come on for Roosevelt Brown.
That will be the call. So Bo Porter bats for Brown. And friends, here's your chance to own Cubs game-worn jerseys, player bats, and Wrigley Field memorabilia. Stop by the Cubs Fan Appreciation Tent Sale today through Sunday here at the ballpark. Great savings on all kinds of great Cubs merchandise, and fans can visit the tent sale 2.5 hours before game time and then 1 hour after each game concludes. Tent sale is located next to the Wrigley Field entrance at the corner of Addison and Sheffield. Bo Porter, the batter. And he looks at a ball, 1 ball, no strikes.
Porter at 143 this year. Still looking for his first pinch hit.
Three balls, no strikes. That's the old automatic 3-1 now. Well, I like the way this kid pops the glove. And he works quickly. 3-2. The payoff pitch to Bo Porter. Again into the seats. On a ricochet off the roof of Wrigley Field. A high hopper. Renteria backs up. play. 2 men down. So the Cubs shortstop Jose Nieves will bat. 2 up, 2 down in the Cubs 6th. Looking ahead to the 7th, Mark McGwire will bat 2nd for the Redbirds.
And so far, nobody in the on-deck circle, but you do have Bobby Ayala throwing in the bullpen, so you wonder if Jim Riggleman will take this opportunity to use Gary Gaetti. And that is Gary coming out of the dugout.
Chopper toward first. Big Mac will make the play on assistant. And Ankiel works a 1-2-3 inning in his Wrigley Field debut with the St. Louis Cardinals. On we go to the 7th. Big Mac to hit 2nd in a 4-3 Cub game.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Pepsi, the joy of cola.
Book your travel online with Southwest Airlines, and you'll automatically get double Rapid Rewards flight credits, which means 4 round trips get you a free ticket and some downtime for your computer. And American Express card members can use membership rewards points to earn free Southwest Airlines tickets even faster.
You are now free to move about the country.
Come on. Hi, sweetie. Hi. Hi, Mom. Oh, hi. Please close the door.
The first day you have a second line from Ameritech, you'll experience something new. Phone, internet,
Yes.
peace and harmony all at once.
I know. I got a C+.
Your kids will have to find something else to fight over. A second line from Ameritech costs less than you might think. Call 1-800-347-4444.
Are you ready to hit the road?
Ever wish the world were more solid under your feet?
When the going gets tough, is a driver's seat the only seat for you?
Are you ready for something you've always wanted? Then get to the Pontiac Hit the Road Summer Sell Down for 0% APR financing or $1,500 cash back on any solid 99 Grand Am.
Hit the road for Pontiac driving excitement.
See your dealer today.
What are you waiting for?
Steve and Alice. Weeknights on Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
Well, there's a shot of Buddy Guy, Grammy Award-winning blues musician. He'll be along to guest conduct our 7th inning stretch today. Bo Porter stays in the game to play left. Jeff Blauser to short. Bobby Ayala on in relief of Steve Traxel, who went 6 today.
For Ayala, the 63rd appearance of the year, his 10th as a Cub. He's 0-1, 4.09 ERA as a Cub. He inherits a 1-run lead. So the day is done for Steve Traxel, who goes 6, gives up 3 on 6 hits. He walks 3, fends 7. And we'd like to pass along a happy 9th anniversary to Denise and Ray Pausback.
Can we do that?
Not technically. So forget that I did it.
Well, then I guess we shouldn't welcome Clark Seppelt from Peoria, Illinois to the ballpark, nor should we say happy 7th birthday to David Perry watching the game today, right?
Well, if it's below double figures, you can.
Oh, okay. Below double? Piece of cake. Here we go to the 7th. Ayala against Willie McGee. Both bullpens busy now. McGee, McGwire, and Tatis. For St. Louis, the Cubs trying to make these guys sing the blues. High pop left side. Porter, Blauser, and Andrews. Jeff backs up. Can't get it. McGee's going to reach.
That goes as a base hit from Santa Bob Rosenberg.
Where was Porter on this play? That ball hung up there long enough, you'd think, for him to get close to it, but he was nowhere to be seen.
Well, Jeff is there to make the play. It just hits off his glove. Willie McGee is on with the tying run.
So it's Ayala against McGwire. Bobby struck him out last night. And he misses with ball 1. Shadows starting to creep toward home plate. McGwire Second in the home run race, but first in the National League RBI race. He is 2 ahead of Sammy.
McGee has swiped 7 bases, been caught 4 times.
Inside, ball 2. Readout now for a pep talk.
Well, you don't usually run in front of Big Mac because one swing of the bat gets you the lead. As the fans congregate on Waveland.
Two and 0. Ooh, where'd that miss? 3 balls, no strikes. Crowd getting antsy. McGuire has walked twice already. He has struck out once. That first batter faced looms large here. The pitch. Chopper toward third. Andrews in, up to second one. Relay to first, double play. It's as easy as they come.
Well, a few times you will see Mark McGuire hit the ball on the ground, and it turns into the 12th double play this year. Rarely does he swing at a 3-0 pitch, but he certainly doesn't want to walk again. So an easy double play.
So each slugger a double play, each slugger with 2 walks. McGuire also has struck out today. And here is Tatis. Base is clear. And ball 1 to him. He's 1 for 2. A base hit, a sacrifice fly, and his 98th run driven in. This young man is a terrific player. And he's only going to get better. A very young man. In for a strike to even it up. Big baseball games tonight. Atlanta entertains the Mets again. Oral Hershiser, Tom Glavine. The Braves with a 2-game lead in the National League's Eastern Division. Off Ayala's glove to second. 1-hop rocket. Morandini throws to first. Tatis retired. And here's Buddy Guy with our 7th inning stretch.
Today's 7th inning stretch. The Cubs and Budweiser welcome 2-time Grammy Award-winning blues musician Buddy Guy.
All right, Chicago, let me hear you loud and clear. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Root for the Cubs. They don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause if 1, 2, 3 strikes you out, the whole ball game. Hey!
There's still time to celebrate during the final days of the Ford authorized clearance. Your last chance to get $2,000 cash back on any new Ford Escort or ZX2. Want great financing? Try 0.9% and $1,250 cash. 0.9 financing could save you thousands, and the cash has never been higher. Whether it's a '99 Ford Escort or a sporty new ZX2, you get $2,000 cash back or 0.9 financing and $1,250 cash. Either way, you win during the final days of the Ford authorized clearance.
Charlene, it's Tim McGraw. Just act natural.
Y'all got Bud Light?
Yeah, it's, over there. One's on bottom or colder.
The Bud Light Tim McGraw Tour, rolling into a town near you.
Here's your change. Oops.
A participating advertiser for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is your local Ford store. Quality people, quality products.
Juan Acevedo takes over for the Cardinals as we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. 4-3 in favor of the Cubs. Rick Ankiel worked a perfect 1-2-3 6th inning, his Wrigley Field debut today. So Jeff Blauser is going to lead things off for the Cubs. leading things off in the 7th inning. Steve Stone, Chip Carey, and legendary blues musician Buddy Guy in the ballpark today. Nice to see you. How's everything going?
Thank you for having me here.
Now let me ask you something. I know you know a thing or two about the blues, but we have suffered the blues this year with this ball club. Any advice for those of us who have suffered like we have this year with the Cubs?
I got a record I call I Suffer with the Blues. I don't know. You look pretty good. I was looking for a little better one than you have, but hopefully next year we can get it going.
Hey, how about this shot? Jeff Blauser.
How about that? How about that? Maybe you should ask me a question like that again.
A leadoff home run from Jeff Blauser off Juan Acevedo. And the Cubs now lead it 5-3. That was a bullet.
Well, even though it was his first at bat of the day, it's not considered a pinch home run as he was put in the lineup defensively. But Blauser hits his 9th, his 24th driven in. And for Acevedo, that's the 17th he's given up in 97 innings.
Lance Johnson hits a bullet towards second, but Paquette takes care of business. And there's one man out. And here's a look. Buddy, at that home run from Jeff Blauser. I mean, just a rocket.
A great one. A good one. Up and away.
You got that right.
Yes.
Now we need a Cubs themed blues song. That's something maybe you can. I don't know.
I could probably write you.
Now see, that'd be a good idea. Stoney, don't you think we should have
an idea? Yeah. You guys going to have to help me sing it, then I'll bring the guitar next time.
Well, I'm not sure about that. We're sure you can handle. We're sure you can handle the guitar end of it. I'm not sure about the singing, but something about anybody can have a bad century probably should be woven in there somewhere.
Yeah, well, if you don't think you're sounding good, I got a way of always turning the guitar extra loud.
There you go. There you go. Mickey Morandini, the batter, 2 balls, no strikes to him. He's 2 out of 3 today. The Cubs have expanded the lead, and Morandini has extra bases. That one softly hit down the left field line. And the dandy little glove man slides into second with his 3rd hit. So Acevedo has been greeted very rudely.
Mickey gets this one right off the end of the bat and couldn't have thrown it in a better spot. He checks to see if it's going to be fair, and it goes right over the bag. And it's Sammy time.
Yes. Sammy's time.
But first things first, Dave Duncan's going to look down to that Cardinal bullpen, get those guys busy, as Acevedo has encountered some real problems here in the 7th inning. Buddy, for fans who love music and love the blues, love great guitar playing, when a guy like Eric Clapton regards you as the greatest blues guitarist ever, I mean, what a compliment that must be. And what do you think about those comments by Eric Clapton?
Well, first of all, we're good friends, and when I read that he made that comment, where I come from, actions speak louder than words. I think he is, but it's so great to have somebody at the stature he is to say something like that. Even though, as I said, we are great friends, and I was out there before him, and when he came up, went to such superstar, he would tell people that he learned a lot from me, which I did learn from someone else too.
Sammy Sosa, the batter, here with 1 on, 1 out. Crowd starting to buzz a bit as Sosa hacks away and pops it out of play for a strike.
Well, Buddy, growing up in Letworth, Louisiana, who were your heroes? Because I know that you never had a music lesson, so growing up, who did you idolize?
Well, I would listen to, when we finally got a radio, I would listen to a lot of country and western out of Texas, and then we would listen to Lightning Hopkins and Lonnie Johnson and people like that. Then along came B.B. King, which turned all of us around with the squeezing the strings.
No balls and a strike. The pitch is outside, 1-1. B.B. King's guitar is named Lucille. You name your guitar?
No, I did not do that. Actually, when I first came to Chicago, everybody was trying to change my name to Buddy King, and I met him. I said, I don't want to be a king. He said, yes.
Got to be yourself. No doubt about that. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sammy digging in. He's bathed in shadows. The pitch. Swung on, high fly ball, hammered deep right center field. That ball might have a chance. Drew back at the wall, leaping up. The ball is caught. Morandini has tagged. Here comes the relay throw. It's in time. A double play. Sosa Sosa retired at the fence. Morandini tagging up from second. Tagged out at the plate on a bang-bang call by C.B. Buckner, and he is, buddy guys, singing the blues right now.
Well, at least you got to run there for me. You got to run.
We got to run, buddy.
Yes.
It's great to see you. All
Thank
the best.
you very much.
Best wishes. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you very much. Good luck with some more runs. Thank you very much.
Here.
How does he look? So gross!
Next Friends, tonight at 6 on WGN.
Drew's got a hot office romance.
I had a dream about you last night.
He's got the lines.
You were on fire and I put you out with a big hose.
He's got the style.
I'm not wearing any underwear.
Next Drew.
Tonight at 6:30 on WGN.
Out, and he was safe.
Well, I think Sammy thought that he got it. And then a good relay throw. Look at this. Finally, Drew extricates himself from the ivy. This is a great catch. And then he hits Paquette. And it looks to me like Buckner missed the play at the plate. Here comes the throw. Now the throw gets there ahead of Mickey. But watch Mickey slide around the tag. And his foot's on the plate right here.
So Buckner missed it. The Cubs get one run on the Blauser home run, and Mickey Morandini, he can't believe it. He thinks he's safe. Grace thinks he's in safely as well, and neither man can believe it. That, folks, was a terrible call. But we settle for one in the seventh. Sosa denied an RBI, denied the home run. He hits into another double play. That one, however, rather uniquely turned by St. Louis. So it's 5-3 Cubs going to the eighth inning now, and here's Thomas Howard. Howard, a career-high 4-hit game on Friday.
Chevrolet cars are trusted by more Americans than...
No balls and a strike. He spins away. In fact, he didn't get out of the way. A hit batsman.
Well, I think he had to tell C.B. Buckner that he was hit, because at first there was no recognition. Watch what happens. This one inside.
Maybe on the elbow.
Well, Buckner with no recognition until Howard said he got me. And he said, well, if he got you, go to first.
Boy.
Hard to tell from that angle, but you know he's not in pain.
So runner at first for Paquette. That ball must have hit an exposed arm hair of Howard. So Ayala hits a batter. The Cubs have a 2-run lead, 5-3 in the eighth. Nobody out. Breaking ball is up. Boy, I thought Sammy got enough. Just under it a bit.
Or if he'd hit it earlier where the wind was blowing a little more than it is right now, would have been out. And that's 2 caught right at the wall in the series for Sosa.
1-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Paquette, who was struck out, bounced out, and infield hit sandwiched in between. That back in inning number 4.
The call of the play notwithstanding, that was a terrific play by the Cardinals and J.D. Drew to, number 1, catch it. Number 2, get out of the way of the right fielder. And then make a good throw to the cutoff man.
One ball, 2 strikes. He rallied to get him. Ayala strikes out the Cardinals second baseman. And that's his first punch out of the game.
And you got to figure now that Riggs is going to go to the left-hander against Drew. Good split finger. Bye-bye, Paquette.
And it'll
Guthrie.
be Mark Guthrie, the birthday boy. He's 34 years old today, is one of the newest Cubs. And we'll see if he can celebrate his birthday in style by retiring Drew and or Jensen. So Ayala departs. He worked 1 inning and 1/3. Ayala gives up 1 hit, no walks, 1 strikeout, and he hit a batter. And let's take a peek at today's Ameritech playbook. Cubs by a pair.
Well, they pitch around Sammy Sosa in the 5th inning, but Mark Grace makes them pay with a 2-run triple, giving the Cubs the lead. This one gets by Howard, and Mark Grace with his 5th triple of the year puts the Cubs on top, and that is your Ameritech play of the day. Gracie with 84 runs batted in.
So Guthrie, who turned 34 today. And he's hitting, of course, in the number 8 spot as the Cubs flip-flopped their batting order earlier. Jeff Blauser obliged with the solo home run. And now Gary Pressey serenades Guthrie with "Happy Birthday to You." Wrigley Field, Oregon.
He comes on for the 9th time, an 0-1 record, a 3.48 ERA. He inherits a base runner at first base. The first man he'll look at is J.D. Drew, who made that fine catch in right center field.
Let's see how Drew has done against left-handers this year. Not too bad. 267 with 5 homers and 12 batted in. Ironically, it's right-handed pitching that's given him the most problems. He's only a 229 hitter against right-handers. So Thomas Howard opens up the 8th by being hit. Paquette strikes out, and it's Guthrie against Drew. Drew is 2 out of 11 in the series. He represents the game-tying run. Big breaking ball in for a strike. They're in the bottom of the 5th inning now in Oakland. 1-0 Athletics over the Twins. The rest of the baseball slate later on. One and one the count. Big Cub fan Bob Hoon watching in Davenport, Iowa today. Along with his Uncle George celebrating his 84th birthday. The 1-1 pitch is outside. 11-year-old Adam T. Cubes is watching the game today on WGN. So happy birthday, Adam. Three balls and a strike. And ball 4. Leadoff man walks. Or at least the first man that Guthrie faces walks. And now a hit batsman and a walk have the tying runs on for the Cardinals. And Jensen will be called back. And let's see who Tony La Russa summons from his bench.
Probably McEwing, I would assume.
And that's who it will be.
And it is Little Mac, Joe McEwing.
So McEwing for Jensen here in the 8th. This guy's had a very good year for the Cardinals.
Well, he started out having a miraculous year. Things have settled down for him somewhat, but he's still hitting .277. 2 for 7 as a pinch hitter this year, and he's hit 9 home runs.
Ewing, a little guy, 5'11", 170 pounds, among National League rookie leaders in batting average, hits, runs, and doubles. He's hitting only 2 double plays and 498 at bats. In case the Cubs hope to get one, might be hoping against hope. Had a 25-game hitting streak for the Cardinals, June 8th to July 4th. That ranks 5th all-time among rookies in baseball history. It's the 8th longest in Cardinals history.
38,278. More people have come into the ballpark this year than ever before in the history of Wrigley Field. The buses have come from everywhere, as have the people.
A lot of those buses, I'm sure, from downstate Illinois, from St. Louis, too. And they've been treated to a very entertaining series. Not the power-packed series from McGuire and Sosa that we were looking for.
Cubs are averaging over 36,000 fans a game.
Amazing. And 4 more to go. Chance for $2.8 million here. 1 ball, no strikes to Little Mac. And he swings and misses to even the count, approaching 4 o'clock Chicago time.
Lights are on here at the ballpark as the shadows have crept across home plate. This being deep in September.
A ball and a strike. A little chopper hit to the left side, might be a double play. Nope, only play we have is at second. First and third now for the Cardinals with 2 out. So McEwing bounces into the force play. Drew's retired, 5-4 at second. Thomas Howard to third. McEwing at first. And now it's going to be Ray Lankford. Lankford for Acevedo now. Acevedo went an inning. 2 hits, 1 run. No walks, no strikeouts, 1 home run. And Lankford will be the man. This guy has had very good luck in this ballpark.
Very good luck against the Cubs, period, over the course of his career.
And you wonder why he's had such good luck here. Maybe he was destined to be a Cub. Cubs drafted him in the 3rd round of the June '86 draft, didn't sign. Cardinals took him in the 3rd round in '87. He did sign, and the rest is history. So Lankford a chance to draw the Cardinals closer. They have ensured themselves that McGuire will hit 1 more time today. That's never a good sign.
No, but you would think visibility very much in the favor of Mark Guthrie. In the bright sunshine with Lankford in the shadows. Very much a pitcher's visibility if you make good pitches.
Which Mark does. 0-2. Interesting that Tony La Russa goes with the left-hander against the left-handed pitcher. Lankford hitting just .243 against left-handers, .331 against right-handers, but maybe he's got a hunch.
Well, he's thinking a couple runs down, you put in the man who can hit the ball out of the park.
Skips up there. Good stop by Reed.
saves a run and saves a man at first base. Not much between the two sluggers today.
Swings and misses and strikes out. Guthrie escapes the 8th inning. That was a terrible pitch. But Guthrie celebrates his birthday in pretty good style. Nothing doing for the Cardinals in the 8th. Cubs leading by a pair.
Chevrolet cars are trusted by more Americans than any other. Chevy trucks are the most dependable, longest lasting on the road. If that's not enough reason to own a Chevrolet car or truck, then this definitely is. The great summer drive-in from Chevrolet. You can lease a new 1999 four-wheel drive Chevy Blazer for only $299 a month. That's right, the new 99 four-wheel drive Chevy Blazer for just $299 a month. Call for lease details. It's Chevrolet's great summer drive-in. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
Hey, does this scene look familiar to you?
Let me use your cell phone.
No, you've mooched off me since the 3rd grade. Get your own.
Just gotta make one phone call.
You need a cell phone, but you still haven't gotten one. Well, the time was never better to get your own. For just $4.95 a month, you can get a free cell phone with free nights and weekends till the year 2000. All on Ameritech's reliable wireless network. $4.95 a month. That's Ameritech's lowest price ever. It's definitely time to get your own cell phone.
Hey, maybe it's about time I got my own cell phone. Good.
Now, what'll it be, sweetheart?
Let me guess. A nice, cold Pepsi. I wouldn't want to hear one of those crazy voices of yours, huh?
Honey, you ain't heard nothing.
Ballpark. Cubs enjoying the advantage now. We go to the bottom half of inning number 8. Lance Painter, the crafty left-hander, will take the mound for St. Louis. Alberto Castillo behind the plate.
Painter at 4-5, ERA 4.88, on for the 52nd time. No saves. He's been used in the middle. Looks like Rick Aguilera throwing in the pen, and he'll come on to try to nail it down.
So lefty versus lefty here in Grace. Swings and misses. Grace pulled even with Palmeiro with that base hit, scoring 2 runs in the 5th for the Cubs. And that one popped down the left field line toward the Cubs bullpen. And Tatis can't make the play. That tarp was looming. The Cubs bullpen looming, and he couldn't find the range.
Well, he sees where he is, but I think you have to go right toward that tarp and kind of drift back with the ball, and Tatis didn't do it, and it gives Mark another life. He stops short, and then the ball just drifts away from him.
One and 2 to Grace. Heathcliff Slocum getting ready. Two and 2. Just past 4 o'clock. And Grace goes down swinging. 1 up, 1 down in the home half of the 8th. Let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
Steve Stone, Chip Carey, our final look at the Cardinals here at Wrigley Field in 1999. Of course, the final 3 against the Redbirds down in St. Louis.
And Shane Andrews with a 7-game hitting streak on the line. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
That one fouled off the catcher for a strike. Miss Skokie at the game today. And she earned the vote of our senior producer director of Cubs baseball, Mr. Arnie Harris. Today's game on WGN produced by the commander, Pete Toma. Mark Brady, our associate producer. Our AD, the lovely and talented Kathy Kerr, and the executive producer of WGN Sports is Bob Vorwald. Five runs, 8 hits for the Cubs. 3 runs, 7 hits for the Cardinals. 1-2. Two and 2 now. Oakland's added 3 to their total against the Twins. 4-0 after 5 now. Down on strikes goes Andrews. 2 up, 2 down. So Shane ends his day today 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Here's Jeff Reed. Make that 1 for 3. A base hit and one of our 5 runs scored. Lefty-lefty matchup again here. Inside corner for a strike. Jeff unable to pull the trigger. That one just missed.
Looks like Aguilera getting ready to come in and trying to nail down his 6th save of the year. Make the winner of Steve Traxel for the 7th time.
And Rick's been terrific of late. That just missed. Other baseball news, Cal Ripken Jr. 9 hits away from 3,000. Baltimore's in Texas tonight. The Orioles also red hot. They've won 12 straight games. They're only 3 under 500 all of a sudden. But they have been the streakiest team in baseball this year.
That falls into the too little too late category. Well, you'd certainly love to wind up above 500. Would be a remarkable comeback for the Orioles and give them a lot of hope for next year, because slowly they're putting together a pretty good pitching staff there.
Will Ray Miller be back? That is a big question yet to be answered in Baltimore. Yankees' magic number to win the East is 10. The Red Sox just won't go away. They're 3 back and have won 6 in a row. Bouncing ball hit to short. And Reed is retired. Painter works a 1-2-3. Bottom half of the 8th inning. We go to the 9th inning. Renteria, McGee, and McGuire. The Cardinals need 2.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, offering low fares and frequent flights. Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Cubs.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. But on October 31st, Southwest Airlines will take off and fly to an exciting new destination, Hartford Springfield. So get ready for October 31st when we finally...
You are now free to move about the country.
Are you ready to hit the road?
Ever wish the world were more solid under your feet?
When the going gets tough, is a driver's seat the only seat for you?
Are you ready for something you've always wanted? Then get to the Pontiac Hit the Road Summer Sell Down for 0% APR financing or $1,500 cash back on any solid 99 Grand Am.
Hit the road for Pontiac driving excitement.
See your dealer today.
What are you waiting for?
There's a lot more to working in AutoZone than looking up parts or ringing up sales. And it has to do with taking pride in taking care of customers. Like testing an old part before selling a new one. Or simply having what they need when they need it. In other words, it's about taking care of people who take care of cars. And that's what we do best at AutoZone.
The names you'll always remember. The moments you'll never forget. The Chicago Cubs All-Century Team. Saturday at 2 on WGN.
And today's attendance is 38,278. With today's attendance of 38,278, the Cubs have set a new single-season home attendance record with 2,669,153. The entire Cubs organization wishes to thank all fans for your support during the 1999 season and for being the greatest fans in the entire world of sports.
That is an amazing stat, and it's a great credit to the fine folks who make Wrigley Field look so beautiful day in and day out, to John McDonough, Jay Blanc, the entire marketing department, and the entire front office for the Cubs in what's been a most disappointing year. That is something that everybody can feel very proud about, the great support of the fans here in Chicago.
Well, it's a testament to the continuing love affair between Cub fans, the Cub team, and this ballpark, as they all go hand in hand into making this just a terrific year. Sammy has caused a lot of excitement at the ballpark, and the Cubs got off to a very good start, but things got away from them.
Renteria leads it off against Rick Aguilera, who tries to save it for Steve Traxel. Trax in line to win his 7th game of the year.
Aggie on for the 40th time, 6-3, ERA just over 4. And the last 3-4 weeks or so, he's starting to throw the ball real well, but he's got his work cut out for him at the top of the order.
Inside, 3 balls, no strikes. Over the outside edge, Renteria thought it might have drifted outside. That one did miss. Lead off walk in the 9th. Boy, our first batter faced stat from our bullpen the last 3 weeks has been atrocious. A lot of walks.
And the key to the inning could very well be right here in Willie McGee, who doesn't run near what he used to. And boy, could you use a double play ground ball off the bat of McGee, who's grounded into 3 of them this year.
McGuire hitting to 1 his last time up.
And you've got him in the on-deck circle.
Ball 1 sinks down and in, and Reed out to chat with Aguilera. Now Grace in for a meeting on the mound. McGee lifetime against Rick, 6 for 15. McGuire even better. He's hit 3 home runs against the Cubs relief pitcher. The average not as good at 389, but an awful lot of devastation late. Where was that ball? 2-0 the count.
The amazing shrinking strike zone.
The 2-0. That one's in there.
Maybe you keep it away from Willie here. Get him to try to pull it. And a nice 4-6-3 will allow Mac to hit it as far as he wants to without tying it up.
The 2-1. Even 2-2. It's into the Cardinal dugout. National League races: Atlanta by 2 over New York, Houston by 3.5 over Cincinnati. The Diamondbacks' magic number to clinch the West is just 3 now. They have a huge 9-game lead over the Giants. National League wild card still has to be decided. The Mets by 3.5 over the Reds. But Cincinnati having all kinds of problems winning games all of a sudden. I think they've dropped 4 of their last 6. The 2-2. He struck him out.
Well, he went upstairs on Willie McGee and heated him up and threw it right by him. An uppercut swing doesn't work real well on high fastballs. So now it's Big Mac who has terrorized Aguilera over the course of his career.
Well, it's amazing. McGuire said that if he had to do his baseball life over again, he would have relished being a major league closer.
He'd been a very big closer.
Man. At least he'd be able to hit for himself if he had to. The pitch is high, ball 1. Did you ever think about being a closer?
No. Tough job. Hard on your arm. A lot of pressure, and you have to have one pitch where you can wipe people out. And I didn't really have that.
1 ball, no strikes. Swung on, hit off the end of the bat to straightaway center. Lance Johnson retires McGuire. So we're 1 out away from salvaging 1 out of 3 here in Chicago. McGuire will end his series in Chicago 1 for 10.
Matt gets this one off the end of the bat. Looks like he slid that fastball away from him, and he couldn't get the big part of the bat on the ball. So now 1 more home run hitter to Dodge. And that's Tatis.
Tatis. Sosa 1 for 9 in the series without a home run. McGuire 1 for 10 with a home run. And they'll show down one more time the final weekend in St. Louis. 1-0 the count to Tatis. He has never seen Rick Aguilera. Tatis today 1 for 3 with an RBI. Needs 2 for 100.
Get him in the next series.
That'll be against Cincinnati. High pop on the infield. That should do it. Shane Andrews in the sunshine calls everybody off, and the Cubs win, salvaging 1 game out of 3 in the series, beating the Cardinals 5-3. Sosa 1 for 9 in the series. Mark McGuire 1 for 10. Sosa still leads the home run chase at 61-59. The Cardinals fall to 72-80 on the year. The Cubs win their 61st game and finally have caught up to Sammy Sosa's season home run total. 61 there, 61 Cub wins.
And one of the things that gives you a little hope, Chip, is that Rick Aguilera, who had some trouble when he came over here closing down games, is now starting to feel comfortable as a Cub closer. Now he has the option in his corner. He can decide what to do. But yet it appears, at least for the moment, that he will be given every opportunity to close here, and all he says is, I want an opportunity to compete for that job. And the last 3 weeks or so, he's thrown the ball well enough.
So the Cubs beat the Cardinals 5-3 is the final score. Rick Aguilera picks up his 6th Cubs save, and Rick is kind enough to join us after the Cubs-Cardinals ball game. Rick, congratulations. You've settled into quite a groove. What's been the difference for you here the last couple weeks?
I wish I knew. If I knew that, I would have started a little bit differently. I don't know, maybe just a little more relaxed, kind of just regrouping mentally and just making a little better pitches, a little better concentration.
Is it hard, Rick, to change leagues? I mean, being a closer, obviously, there's no room for error when you come in at the end of the game. You change leagues in the middle of a season. I know you've pitched in the National League before, but here you are as a full-time closer. How difficult was it to come over here and then try to adapt to a new league, a new ballpark, and essentially a bunch of new hitters?
Well, I'm not sure if it was so much that, Stoney. I mean, there are differences, and I need to get to know some hitters. But I think I was just guilty myself of perhaps putting a little bit too much pressure on myself, relying, getting away from my strengths, and maybe trying to pitch too much to perhaps a scouting report and a weakness as hitters, instead of just kind of sticking with my strength. I think when you've pitched before, and I think when you start to go away from your strength to pitch to someone's weaknesses, you get yourself in trouble. So I think it was just a matter of mentally not being focused, bring a little bit too much to the field instead of leaving it at home when I get to the ballpark.
Now you have very much of a luxury and an oddity in the contract where you have the option in your corner to come back next year. What are some of the considerations, Rick, for you when you consider what exactly you want to do with the rest of your career? And I'm assuming you feel that you've got a few good years left.
Well, to be truthful, Stoney, it's kind of been taking it year by year the last couple. My kids are older now and starting school. It's been a little bit tougher for us as a family to kind of be separated. That's going to be probably the number one consideration. And number two, I know there's a lot of question marks what will happen to this ball club, and I'm not sure, like anybody else, what's going to happen with that. But it'd be nice to know who will be in charge and what changes they'll be made. I have some time to make up my decision, but I guess those are things that would be probably the biggest factors.
Well, Rick, we've enjoyed the time we have had with you. We hope to have many more.